looking ready to kick off the 2017 season by defending their home turf at Ryan Field. Many think this is the best team the 12th-year head coach Pat Fitzgerald has had at Evanston. We're about to find out. Northwestern playing host to the new-look air raid attack of the Nevada Wolfpack out of the Mountain West Conference. The third ever meeting between the two programs and the first since 2007. Welcome, everybody, along with Chuck Long. I'm Brandon Gaudin. I just said it a moment ago, Chuck, but a lot of people think this might be Pat Fitzgerald's best team at Evanston. 8 returning starters on both sides of the ball. Is this the year that they unseat Wisconsin in the West?
Well, I think it's his best team, and this could be the year. In fact, I have them winning the West Division, but they're going to have a good chance of doing that this year.
So you're on the record. You are on the record, Chuck Long. You heard it right here. Well, one reason to really like their chances, let's start at quarterback. Clayton Thorson started off slow last year, but he really picked it up, and he was excellent.
He did. He threw for 58% last year, 22 touchdowns after what you said, Brandon, a very slow start. And the reason why, he just got better in the pocket. Here's an example of that. Early in the year, he was staring at his receiver, and he was not moving that free safety at all. The window's really tight there. He forced it in there, caused an interception. Later on in the year, now he uses eyes a lot better. This is the maturation of a quarterback. Here he is looking off that free safety on the left-hand side and freezing him with his eyes so he can throw to the right and get a big completion. That has been the big difference in Clayton Thorson's progress last year.
So they're set at quarterback. They're also set at running back. Don't forget about this guy, Justin Jackson.
Well, Justin Jackson, to do everything man for Northwestern, equally as good in rushing and pass receiving, but he displays great patience and vision when he runs the football. Here's an example of that. You got 2 guys pulling, but watch him let those blocks set up for him with his patience, vision. Not there yet. Boom. Then he hits that hole, and now you can see the speed that Justin Jackson has when he gets to the outside. No one's going to catch him if he gets to the sideline, but his patience and vision is what separates him from the best.
Yeah, Justin Jackson just 356 yards from setting the all-time Northwestern record. With he and Thorson, a lot of reason to be excited in Evanston coming into the 2017 season. And let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast crew, and that's Michelle McMahon. She is with Pat Fitzgerald.
Coach, with Nevada being somewhat of a wild card in terms of the scouting report, what do you focus on most on your side?
Well, we focus on us. You know, we got to go execute here, especially early. They've got a huge advantage over us here in the first quarter, especially, and hopefully we go out and play the way we're capable of.
One thing you know you're going to see is that air raid offense, so how do you counter that best defensively?
Well, you got to keep the ball inside and in front. You got to tackle. We're going to be in space. We're going to be in one-on-ones, and we've got to really do a great job tackling.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks,
Brandon?
And there on the other sideline is Jay Norvell. After 31 years as a college and a pro assistant, he finally, Chuck Long, becomes the man on his own sideline as the head coach.
Well, Jay and I went to school together. We came together in 1981 at Iowa. We graduated together. Great man. He's had 13 different stops in his career, including 2 NFL stops. So happy for him to get his chance. I think he's going to be a wonderful, great head coach.
And now it is time for the Principal Financial Group keys to the game, and we will start with the homestanding Northwestern Wildcats.
Well, for Northwestern, it's going to be balanced offense, so why not? You have Clayton Thorson, you have Justin Jackson. It should be balanced between run and pass. And then defensive depth. They have to get those defensive players in there because Nevada will have a fast-paced offense to try to keep Northwestern's defense off the field from substituting.
And on the other side, how about the keys for Nevada and that air raid, as they call it, pack attack offense and defense that they're running over there?
Well, offensive coordinator Matt Mumme is the new man in charge there, and they will have a high-tempo air raid offense trying to get to 80 to 90 plays today. And then they need that effective blitz on defense. They need to rattle Clayton Thorson somehow with some effective blitz to get him off his game.
One thing is also for sure, we have a great day. Little overcast, but it was sunny all morning. No rain is anticipated whatsoever. 72 degrees just off the shores of Lake Michigan. It is beautiful here for the opener at Ryan Field. Mention that Michelle McMahon is on the sidelines with us. Of course, we also are fortunate to have Dick Honig back in the studio across town here in Chicago as our rules analyst. He is ready if and when needed. That's our crew. We are ready for football. We hope you are ready for football. Northwestern will receive as Thorson gets ready on the sideline. Nevada will be booming it away in just a moment. I was here last year for their loss early on to Illinois State. It was a tough 1-3 start. You can just feel the buzz is much more palpable. The tension, they're just excited this year, aren't they?
They are excited. Coach Fitzgerald told us yesterday he just mismanaged last year. He just didn't feel good about coming out of training camp into that first game that you called, Brandon, and he feels a lot better going into this year. And you learn from that. You learn from those mistakes and get better the next year. But he has a really good quality team this year. So I think he's going to rectify that mistake from last year. They'll be fresh in this football game.
I know the Northwestern fans don't want to hear about it, but it was the loss to Western Michigan. Then that Illinois State defeat, as you said, he felt like he didn't have a fresh team going into that game. Then they turned it around. Got to a bowl game, defeated Pittsburgh. Went 7-6, and Pat Fitzgerald said, look, anymore at Northwestern, that's not the season we're looking for. 7-6 may have been good for your father's Northwestern team, but not anymore. Set to kick it away is Spencer Pettit. John Moten, Austin Anderson back deep, and it will be Moten that takes it from inside the 10. A little bit of a crease there. Able to get it out just shy of the 25. Impact players brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance when Northwestern has the ball. Take it away, Chuck.
Well, we're going to talk about Justin Jackson a lot today, so he's definitely an impact player. Garrett Dickerson, their super back. Do everything, man. They ask a lot of that super back. And then for Nevada, Malik Reed, their pass rusher, they had to be able to block him today because they're going to throw the ball quite a bit.
So Clayton Thorson, the junior from Wheaton, Illinois, who went to the same high school as my broadcast partner Chuck Long. School record 22 touchdown passes, as you touched on earlier last year.
I tried to go around Wheaton yesterday and tell everybody to remember me. Don't forget about me, because he is now the new Wheaton man here, Brandon. He's a
change of the guard, by the way. Speaking of change, they might have to change out the chain on the far side of the field. An early malfunction. It is week 1. So everyone's going through their first real dress rehearsal, if you will, here.
Yeah, college game, you don't get preseason games, right?
And now the chain is figured out, and Thorson out of the gun with Jackson flanking him on his right. And it will be Justin Jackson, 356 yards from that Northwestern record. And he'll only eat 3 closer here with a carry off the right side.
Well, you saw the ability of Justin Jackson. It wasn't a big gain, but he made some guys miss just to get a positive gain. They had him stopped in the backfield.
Northwestern going pretty quickly. This time they flip it out left side. A bit of a screen to Jackson. They like to get him the ball in a multitude of ways, and that's one area he's gotten better, is receiving out of the backfield.
It is. He's averaged 26 catches a year. I mean, to me, the great backs are the ones who could do it all. And one of the things he's really improved on is pass blocking from last year, according to Coach Fitzgerald. But he is really good rusher and pass receiver, equally as good.
But that was the thing that Coach Fitzgerald pointed out. Biggest improvement for him is pass protection from last year to this year. So we'll track that as the game goes on. Here's an early 3rd down, 3rd and 6 with the pressure coming. And Thorson able to hook up with Garrett Dickerson over the middle. A flag comes in late after a 13-yard reception.
They spread everybody out and hit Dickerson right over the ball. This will be going against Northwestern.
Pass interference. Offense, number 9. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
So that one going against Northwestern and wiped that pass completion out.
Well, no wonder he's wide open. Here he is right over the ball. Just pushes off. Can't do that. Can't extend your arms like that. Good call.
Tangling early with Jaden Sawyer, senior defensive back, was Dickerson, and that one goes against Dickerson. So instead of a 1st down, Northwestern will be backed up inside the 15-yard line.
These are tough calls here. 3rd and forever, I call them, when I was a coordinator. Not many plays in the playbook here. You have to be smart. You don't need to get it all back. You could always punt.
Thorson dropping back towards his goal line and just going safe underneath, trying to set up a screen to Justin Jackson, but that's going nowhere. So the penalty hurts the Wildcats, and they will have to punt on their first series.
That's a smart call. You don't want to force anything early in the game. Plenty of game left. Just punt and play defense here. This is what Coach Fitzgerald is saying.
Caleb Fossum, transfer from Washington State. He did return kicks at Washington State as well. He's back to receive the boot of the senior Hunter Niswander.
Should have good field position here for Nevada.
Pretty good punt, but low. Fossum backpedaling, taking it inside the 35. He's a very good return now. And he's shoved out in front of his teammates, just shy of the 45. 54-yard punt, 12 on the return. So we gave you the impact players presented by Auto Owners Insurance when Northwestern has the ball. Here's for Nevada.
And Jackson Kincaid, they'll try to get him the ball, even in the air raid offense. Wyatt Dents was their leading receiver last year, and Godwin Igwebuike of Northwestern will be all over the field today.
You had to say Igwebuike before I did. Good job. You got it in, Godwin Igwebuike. Nevada, they're going with a pistol. On the early play here, the first play from scrimmage, Kincaid out of the backfield, and Northwestern sniffing that out. 5 purple jerseys were there. Brett Walsh, Sam Miller in on the party, a loss of 6.
Well, they were running to the football there. As you mentioned, 5 to the football. You have to see that right off the bat.
But Nevada, the pistol, originated in Reno with former long-time head coach Chris Ault. They go to it here on the carry. Tyler Lancaster comes up to make the tackle. So the first 2 plays for Jay Norvell and company not going very far.
They're going pistol. You mentioned Chris Ault, who's a 28-year head coach there, invented the pistol. So a little diplomacy for Jay Norvell.
Yeah, how about that? We talked about the air raid. Didn't know he was going to come out with a pistol look early, though. For the Wolfpack out of the Mountain West. Finished 5-7 last year under Brian Polian, parted ways with him, and now Jay Norvell getting the opportunity. 3rd down, safe pass underneath over the middle, complete to Kelton Moore, but Brett Walsh, the linebacker, makes the tackle, and after a Northwestern punt, Nevada will do the same.
Smart play by Ganji, Ty Ganji, the quarterback. Again, you have a 3rd and long. It's going to be tough to fit it in down the field, just dump it off. Get a little bit more room for your punter. Smart quarterbacking so far.
Each team 3 and out on their first series. Quentin Conaway handles the snap. And gets it away to Flynn Nagel, but this is not a good punt. It does take an okay bounce for the Wolfpack, and they will down it right around the 20-yard line. What a beautiful day in the Windy City. No score early. Football on BTN is brought to you by Discover Card. We treat you like you treat you. The Northwestern campus. Lake Michigan is the backdrop. Not bad. Not a bad place to spend a 72-degree Saturday on Labor Day weekend.
Beautiful scene. They have a lot to sell here, especially with their new facility coming here at Northwestern.
Yeah, we're going to show you that later on in the broadcast. They pumped a couple $100 million into the facility over on the shores of Lake Michigan. So a 3 and out for both teams, and now Northwestern with their second go-around. It'll be a handoff to Justin Jackson across the 20 to the 21.
Just trying a little inside zone play. Just to get him loose. Just trying to establish that line of scrimmage early is what they're trying to do at Northwestern with their offensive line.
Over 1,500 yards last year to lead the Big Ten. Garrett Dickerson, the tight end. They call him the superback in Pat Fitzgerald's program for a gain of 5. We met with him yesterday. Impressive young man.
Very impressive. They're going fast right here, Brandon. They want to try to tire out that Nevada defense early in the game. Third and 4.
They need to get to to the 30. Here comes pressure, and Thorson is going down to the ground. Gabe Sewell getting in there and disrupting, and Thorson, he got sacked 38 times last year, most in the conference.
Yeah, too many times, and here they are bringing the blitz. Nevada's bringing that blitz, one of the keys of the game for them, and they just did not slide the line. They're not sliding the line to that blitz, and he's a free blitzer. And as you mentioned, Brandon, 38 times last year. They have to shore that up this year. It'll be a long year if they don't.
That's one of their concerns, offensive line. You know, the fan base, a lot of them think that it hinges on the O-line, how much success they're going to have this year as Hunter Niswander gets ready to boot it away. They almost got pressure in there and blocked it. Fossum sneaks through the first line, but eventually goes down. I think the ball came out. I think Northwestern recovered it. Yes, they did. Austin Anderson able to jump on the football, and the Cats have it in plus territory.
It looked like Fossum's just trying to get a little extra here. He has to put two hands on the ball on the first contact. He was not able to do that. And look at Northwestern stripping that ball out. Two hands on the ball when you have first contact, and Fossum did not do that. Northwestern was able to strip that ball out. They're working with some good field position for the first time.
Credit Warren Long, that man right there with popping it loose. And a nice job by Anderson to jump on it. So now inside the 45 off play action. Thorson going deep. And it's incomplete, trying to find Jalen Brown. The Oregon grad transfer couldn't haul it in.
And Clayton Thorson needs to get better with his deep ball this year. I thought he should have put a little bit more air on the football where that ball's coming down, as I call, in the bucket. It was a little flat. See, the ball's a little bit too flat. It needs to come down in the bucket more, away from that defender's hand.
Jalen Brown, a guy that you're going to hear the name of a lot as the season progresses. I mentioned he's an Oregon grad transfer, and they are expecting him to really help fill the shoes of Austin Carr, who was the Big Ten Receiver of the Year last year, now playing with the Patriots. But this time, it's not Brown, it's Flynn Nagel taking it to the 35 as we check in with Mike Hall in our Chicago studio.
Brandon, Chuck, I want to give you the headline of the day for the Big Ten thus far. It's Maryland. Game's not over yet, but almost. This score from Jake Funk makes it 51-34 Terps over Texas.
How about that as we get a flag coming in here before the snap? But the Terps showing a lot in week one.
That was one of my other predictions, Brandon. I'm on a roll right now, early.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
It's a second penalty on Northwestern. That one backs him up 5 yards.
That would be a great win for Maryland, obviously, going down to Texas. Getting the season right, going right off the bat with a great win. Builds a lot of confidence in your program. Helps with recruiting and everything else.
Trying to help spoil the party for Coach Herman down there and the Longhorns. So we went from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7 now for the Wildcats after that 5-yard penalty.
Starting to slow it down a little bit more. Get the protections right.
Give to Justin Jackson. Nice cut inside. And that extra effort is right at the line to gain. They're going to say first down.
Watch his cut. He could jump. He could cut sideways as fast as he can going forward. Look at that cut. We were talking to Coach Mick, offensive coordinator Mick McCall yesterday. He can go as fast sideways as he move forward. Not too many backs can do that.
It's the first down we've had in this contest so far. We might get a measurement.
The field on the previous play was first down. The play is under further review.
So our first review here in the game at the 8:02 mark of the first quarter.
When I watched Justin Jackson last year, he seemed to get stronger as the game went. Don't forget, they gave this young man the ball 28 times a game. That's a lot of carries, and he just seemed to get stronger, not only in the fourth quarter as the game went, but also as the season went. It's a credit to his conditioning and his strength, and you saw it right there in that run.
His strength Let's talk about that strength. Over 1,000 of his 1,500 yards last year came after contact. That's how strong this guy is.
That's how strong he is. Here, he always has his pads low and moving forward and churning his legs. The sign of a good back. He does not stop his legs on contact. And you saw the jump cut. Quick in the hole.
Speaking of quick, seemed to be a pretty quick review.
They've already set the chains over there.
Now they're going to communicate with upstairs one more time. The question, did Justin Jackson pick up enough for the first down?
Look at that cut. Then he sticks that left toe in the ground, gets low, gets two hands on the ball, keeps those legs churning. And all great backs make the first defender miss and have a nose for that first down marker.
And our Chicago Across Town Dick Honig rules analyst is with us. Are they going to be able to overturn this, Dick?
I don't see anything that gives me evidence that his knee was down. I think that's what they were looking at. Is his knee down when he gets to that pile? You can't tell. It's too much of a scrum to make a decision. I think this has to stand.
And for an official, when you've got a big pile like that and not the best camera angle, that may be one of the toughest calls they make, is it not?
When it goes into a pile because you can't see enough.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Northwestern.
In the pile, as Dick was saying, and it's just too tough to tell.
They can't tell there, so you have to go with the call. It looked like he got it from our angle. That's the power running with Justin Jackson.
Now he'll get a breather. Fresh set of downs.
He needs one.
Inside of 8 minutes, first quarter. John Moten in the backfield now along with Thorson, and he will get the pigskin here, but he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. As we check in downstairs with Michelle.
Well, guys, I had a chance to catch up with Justin Jackson before the game. I asked him, when you're running the ball, what's the first thing you're looking for? He said, pre-snap, I'm looking at the alignment, trying to read the play. But as I've gotten more experience at the running back position, now it's just heavily based on instinctual tendencies, guys.
And he has some of the best instincts, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country. Thorson going for the end zone. Is it caught? Yes! Touchdown, Macon Wilson. To Wilson, and Northwestern strikes first.
And that was a simple post route and a great throw by Thorson, setting his feet and getting some air on the football. So he corrected his mistake earlier on the long pass, put some air on the ball. Nice touchdown throw.
Extra point on the way, and it is good. So the fumble in the return game by Nevada sets up Northwestern nicely in plus territory, and Thorson, beautiful strike to Macon Wilson from 33 yards out, putting the Wildcats up. Clayton Thorson.
Here, this little play-action fake, sets his feet, has some good rhythm, puts a little bit more air, throws it right to the post, right on the hash there. Nice throw. There it is. Bounces a little. Nice release, good toughness taking the hit, keeping his eyes down the field after the hit. Nice concentration by Clayton Thorson.
So good last year, got invited to the Peyton Manning Passing Academy, the Manning camp down in Louisiana. And then last week, Peyton Manning, who's good friends with Pat Fitzgerald, popped in and paid the team a visit. Spent a full 90 minutes with Clayton Thorson and the quarterbacks. What a great gesture by Peyton, and boy, did those guys love it.
And it was a surprise. I think they didn't expect it. Here comes Peyton Manning, just walked in the room to watch film.
As Caleb Fossum will go down to a knee. Speaking of that visit by Peyton Manning, let's hear a little bit of what he had to say.
Let's give it up for the GOAT, Peyton Manning.
There's plenty of games that I'd love to be able to say, if I could have this throw back, or I could rewind it again, right? Hey, that's part of playing football. You got to make mistakes. There's never a game that I left the field saying, I could have done more to get ready for this game.
How cool is that?
It's not every day you meet Peyton Manning.
What a thrill for those guys. He also spent over an hour with the coaches and the entire team as well. As Nevada on first down. That one slipped out of the hands of Ty Ganji. And it will be incomplete. Speaking of quarterbacks, Ty Ganji getting the start on the Nevada side. They were going to decide between Ganji and Cornwell to transfer from Nebraska. They went with Ganji, though.
They went with Ganji. He started 5 games last year. He averaged about 240 passing yards a game, so he does have some experience. And he's more elusive than David Cornwell. Gives you a better chance on third down to move around and make a play if you get to that.
Cornwell, the Alabama transfer, never played there as that one's flipped out to Fossum, and he fights for the line of the game. He is more the pocket passer as Cornwell, but Ganji, he can do both, as you said.
He can do both. And if you have a quarterback that can throw the ball fairly well and is elusive, they can make plays for you. They can extend, keep the chains moving.
They want to try to keep them moving here. 3rd and 1. Nevada looking for the answer after the Northwestern touchdown. Ganji hands it off, slipping through. Jackson Kincaid picks it up. 4-yard gain.
Let's see if Nevada picks it up a little bit. Again, at the outset, they're trying to get 80 to 90 plays today. They want to go as fast as possible. It looks like they're trying to do that.
And right back up to the line and out of the gun. They went with a pistol formation first couple plays of the game. Now they're going away from that and deep downfield. Is there a flag? No. They say the defense was clean. They were trying to get it to Wyatt Demps, who last year led the team with 53 receptions, but that time incomplete.
And that was a good throw by Ty Ganji. I thought Demps slowed down. He should have kept going in his pass route. Here he is on the right side. You see him kind of stop, and he just would have kept going and played the ball. He probably would have had a nice reception there. Don't stop. Keep rolling.
Marcus McShepard was the corner in coverage. Should mention Keith Watkins is out this game. He missed all last year with a knee injury, not there today, so McShepard getting extra time. We mentioned Ganji can run, and there he goes, and a flag's going to come in. They're going to call that every time. When the quarterback starts to slide, Chuck, you have to let up, and they say Igwebuike did not.
And that's that quarterback run game that Ganji's going to be able to do because he's elusive, but those are tough decisions in a short amount of time. You have to stay up as a defender, and it's hard to do.
The ball carrier is in his slide. Therefore, by rule, the play was dead. After the play, personal foul, late hit defense, number 16. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's a point of emphasis from last year. As soon as he starts that slide, the play's over.
And he takes a hit, but it's really hard for defenders to slow down and stay up. It's one of the hardest things to do. Here it is. He's down already.
That's the 3rd Northwestern penalty in this game. So now Nevada with something going. Airmail. Going back to Demps was Ganji, but over his head.
And Ganji just short-armed it. He didn't follow through. And that's why he had that high throw. You got to get that elbow all the way above that shoulder when you're a quarterback. He just short-armed it. His elbow was too low.
Ground on 2nd down, big hole. Jackson Kincaid barely tripped up. Godwin Igwebuike, the last line of defense with a shoestring tackle after a 31-yard gain.
Now, this offensive line for Nevada, their line splits are wide, which allowed this inside zone with big space inside.
And now they're going to hustle up, as you said they would do, Chuck. They like to move quickly. Under new head man Jay Norvell. If they can put it in the end zone here, what a confidence booster that would be. And they do just that. Wyatt Demps, who led them with 9 touchdowns last year, gets wide open.
Offensive coordinator Matt Mumme did a great job of setting that play up with the play before. Had a little inside zone for a big gain, and then he just faked the inside zone and hit depths right over the linebackers. Nobody was there.
At the end of that play, a flag was thrown in the end zone.
Probably celebration. Or too much celebration.
Let's find out.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, Nevada, number 19. The 15-yard penalty be attached to the ensuing kickoff. That is number 19's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Ball flipped and some kind of gesture on his arm right
the
there.
arm as well.
They didn't like that.
They cracked down on any celebration. They did right there.
Just give the ball to the referee and go back.
Spencer Pettit to try to tie us at 7. And he does just that. So Nevada with the answer.
Well, here it is. Little play fake. It lays it up there. Nice touchdown. No linebackers.
Tonight, the Huskers kicking off the season under the lights of Memorial Stadium against Arkansas State. Big Ten football presented by Taco Bell tonight at 8 Eastern right here on BTN, or stream it live on BTN to go. Nevada with a touchdown to tie us up at 7 apiece here in Evanston.
Yeah, they answered the bell, you know. Thorson hit a big touchdown pass. It came right back and answered the bell on the road with a young new team under head coach Jay Norvell. Good start for Nevada.
Moten and Anderson deep, but with the penalty, remember, for excessive celebration. It's a shorter kick than normal, and we have a flag coming in at the end of the return here. After he gets a 14-yard return past the 35. And if this is on Nevada, Northwestern would have even better starting field position.
During the return, holding, return team number 17. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
But it is not on Nevada, it's on Northwestern.
But here's your key plays. A little quarterback run by Ganji. Here's a nice inside zone for a big gain. And then they fake it, throw it up the depths. Big time.
Expected a lot out of Dibs this year.
Really did a nice job of setting all 3 of those plays up in that drive by offensive coordinator Matt Mumme.
Well, we'll see if Northwestern has a response to Nevada's response. Jackson searching for space on the right side. He's got a little to the 40.
That's why I think he does most of the damage against opposing defenses to the outside the hashes by the numbers. He gains more speed. He's always trying to get out there.
Now an empty backfield this time for Thorson. Across the 45, able to haul it in, Cameron Green. He's the other super back tight end along with Garrett Dickerson, his first grab of the season.
And these superbacks are super. I mean, they're big. They're big, strong guys. That was a nice catch. Had a nice hit on him. Held on to the football.
Dickerson's right around 250, Green 230. Jackson, this time around the left side to the 45 in Nevada territory before being brought down by Asani Rufus.
And there he is, getting to the outside again where he's very dangerous. See, here's a cut right here. Oh. Up the field. Nice vision by Justin Jackson. When you're showing the highlight, it's very loud.
They'll give him 10 yards and a first down on that last carry. Off play action. Deep ball. Reaching out, but unable to haul it in, Jalen Brown. They targeted him a couple times. A little too much mustard. So that will make it 2nd and 10 with a little over 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter at Ryan Field. And for the first time, we're seeing redshirt freshman Jeremy Larkin in the backfield alongside of Clayton Thorson. And it first carry of his Northwestern career, and it's a pretty good one. So we've seen Jackson, we've seen John Moten, and now Jeremy Larkin getting the football.
Offensive coordinator Mick McCall is seeing something to the outside now against this Nevada defense, trying to run a stretch zone play outside the tackle. It's made some hay for him so far with both running backs.
Third and 4. Hit in the backfield, but able to stay up. Although he didn't get a whole lot, that was pretty impressive by Jeremy Larkin.
It was, but there's miscommunication up front with the Northwestern offensive line. Miscommunication, they had a free defender right on him on an inside zone. That should not happen.
Defensive tackle Patrick Chowda got in there quickly. Nice job by Larkin to escape him and pick up some positive yardage to make it 4th down and 3.
Going for it.
They are going for it indeed instead of opting for a very long field goal. Jackson returns to the backfield this time instead of Larkin. And they throw to him. Oh my, he's wide open. First down and a little extra. Northwestern rolling the dice, and it pays off.
Great play. There's a little pick play inside on the man-to-man coverage of Nevada, and there's nobody open in the flat, or nobody covered him in the flat, and he used the wide side of the field, plenty of room to throw the ball. Nice play call by Mick McCall, the offensive coordinator.
15-yard gain. Thorson is 7 for 9. He's hit 5 different receivers in this contest so far. Instead of throwing it to Jackson, they'll just hand it to him. He'll take it in the red zone, down around the 15.
Going back to that stretch zone to the outside. They're going faster. Here's where they have to improve this year in the red zone too, Brandon. They were not efficient last year in the red zone. They have to get better this year if they want to be a championship team.
Jackson again. Trying to cut back outside, but a pretty good tackle that time. Muhammad.
And that was a really good open field tackle by Muhammad. Squared up, wrap Justin Jackson. That's hard to do. Nice open field tackle. You have third short now. They've been manageable down.
Thorson behind his center, Brad North, giving it to the redshirt freshman Jeremy Larkin. The early returns on this Larkin kid are pretty good.
Oh, I like what Larkin's doing so far. Tough kid. Obviously, they like him in short yard situations. Just for that reason. Right in between the tackles. Get your head down. Pad level low. Running hard so far.
6 yards. First and goal. Larkin once more. Power running.
I like Larkin. He had a chance to get to the outside, might have scored, but he wants to go north and south and hit somebody. Nice play. North and south, keeps the legs going. Gets that extra yard.
And Nevada will take a timeout with 1 minute even left in the opening quarter. We're tied, but Northwestern knocking on the door. Northwestern, 48 rushing yards this drive alone.
Well, they're trying to establish that balancing act between run and pass, and they're getting to the outside more with their run game as opposed to inside early on. Of course, Justin Jackson, he's going to make all your runs very good anyway. But both backs are showing some nice power early in this game. North and south running, everybody talks about it, but they really are doing it. And I love this Larkin.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
really
good.
Looked good.
They also have John Moten in their arsenal, and they're expecting big things from that sophomore this season.
Well, you need 3 backs. You know, it's hard to get by with just 2 anymore. You need 3 backs. If you find that third back, especially if you have one of those, it's a short yardage back, then you have a good thing going.
But the understudy will turn it over to the star, and that's Justin Jackson. Jackson tackled by a sea of white jerseys. Not much there that time.
And that's why Northwestern's trying to get to the outside more with the run game. You can see why. Nevada's doing a nice job with their up the middle, in between the tackle run so far. Especially when the formations are really tight sets. Northwestern needs to spread out a little bit more. That's where the run game has been more effective.
Inside of 30 seconds here in the first quarter. 3rd and goal. Jackson can't get there.
Justin Jackson, the ball carrier.
2-yard gain. So it'll be 4th and goal from the 4 after the tackle by the defensive end, Corey Rush.
Yeah, I am surprised by that call. You have a really good quarterback and you have good receivers. You have a nice super back out there and Garrett Dickerson, and he's been a touchdown machine. He caught 5 TDs last year. I was surprised by that call. I thought they should have thrown the ball.
This will be a 22-yard attempt.
It's been a drive that has eaten up over 5.5 minutes. But before the field goal, we have the end of the first quarter. So Jay Norvell and company, they've got to be pretty pleased. Came in big underdogs, and they got down 7-0. But they did get the equalizer. 7-7 after 15 minutes at Evanston. Pat Fitzgerald, 12th year head coach. Tied for the longest tenure for a Northwestern head coach. Pappy Waldorf. He had 12 years way back in the 30s and 40s. And Charlie Kubander, you see the freshman, will try to give the Wildcats the lead to start the quarter with a chip shot from 21 yards. And it is up, and it is no good. He pushed it to the right. Jack Mitchell was the starter the last 3 years, and Charlie Kubander was a top 5 kicker in the country in this year's class, but not a great start to his Northwestern career.
Not a great start. Had a chip shot here. It looks like he lifted his head up too quick. Needs to follow through a little bit more with his head down.
Let's go back to Mike Hall in the studio.
Brandon, I want to update you on Michigan and Florida. Remember the question about who'd be the starting QB? Yeah, it wasn't really a question. It's Wilton Spate. Here's one reason why. 46-yard bomb to the young Tariq Black for the score. Wolverines up on Florida, 10-3.
So Spate and Michigan doing their thing there. Northwestern missing an opportunity to go ahead here. And now Nevada going with a pistol diamond look here as the ball is brought out to the 20 after the missed 21-yard field goal. Ganji bought as much time as he could. He had to just throw it away.
The reason why they went diamond is you get one-on-one coverage on the outside, because it's really the only coverage you can play is one-on-one coverage. And that's why they go diamond. Great coverage by Northwestern there, because they were trying to work the one-on-one, and they just couldn't find anybody. It was nice coverage by the Northwestern cornerbacks.
What they call the Sky Team. The corners and the safeties, the secondary for Northwestern.
Very good secondary. One of the best in the league.
Ganji will hand it off on second down. Pretty good size hole there. 5 yards out to the 25 for Kelton Moore.
This inside zone. Right now for Nevada, it's inside zone. They're throwing the ball to the outside. And a little play action off of that as well. And they do have a third manageable, so that was a good call. Just getting some of it back by Matt Mummy, their offensive coordinator, to get their quarterback in a more manageable situation on 3rd down.
Matt Mummy, whose father Hal is kind of the father of this air raid offense that they're going to run at Nevada. That's why Jay Norvell brought him in. Pressure coming. Flings it out right side, and it's complete for the first to Caleb Fossum before he is pushed out of bounds. So Nevada able to pick up the first with an 8-yard gain.
That was a nice throw by Ganji in the flat to the wide side of the field accurately and kept his receiver on the move.
Three on the bottom of your screen for Ganji. But instead of through the air, they'll go back to the ground. Spinning forward, Jackson Kincaid. Kincaid and Moore in the backfield. They're trying to replace James Butler, who was a very good running back last year. Actually transferred to Iowa, but they're doing a pretty good job so far.
Kincaid showing some power. 5'8", 195, he's a sophomore. And they're just spreading Northwestern out and running right up the middle with just simple inside zone plays. Nothing fancy here in this offense.
Enough for the first with a second effort. Brett Walsh eventually able to bring down Jackson Kincaid, but not quickly enough.
Yeah, love what Jackson Kincaid's doing right now. Here's Matt Mummy. As you mentioned, a great coaching tree.
He's got
Hal Mummy started all this air raid.
You see how he's got the personal curtain protection there so they can't read the lips on the calls? How about that? But he was at LaGrange the last few years as a head coach, which is a Division III school, was Mummy. Incomplete that time out of the hand of Ganji. Look at that. How would you like to be the guy whose job is to hold that towel, in front of Mr. Mummy?
Everybody's reading lips now. These high-powered binoculars. So, but I really liked visiting with Matt yesterday, and got a nice future in coaching from a great tree. Again, they can move the ball and score some points with that air raid.
They're in the game very much here. Early second quarter. Boy, he missed him, though. Brendan O'Leary Orange, who they're expecting big things from this year. Ganji just overshot him.
Just overshot him, just put some more air on the ball, and he had a touchdown to O'Leary Orange, who's one of their fastest receivers. He's a 4.40. The ball's way too flat. He has to get that ball up in the air. It should come off the screen and come down. Off the TV screen and come down. Too flat.
He had Montre Hardage beat, but they can't connect. They need 10 yards on third down. And they're not going to get it, thanks to a really nice tackle by Kyle Cairo, the safety.
They may go for it here on fourth down. Usually when you see a run like that on third down, that means they've already decided to go for it on fourth down, which is exactly what's going to happen for Nevada here. Coach Norvell gambling early, said, hey, you have fourth down in your pocket. Let it rip.
At the 48, they need the 45. Empty backfield, and Ganji's just going to punt it. And a pretty nice punt by Ganji. Look at this.
Wow.
He can throw it, and hey, he can kick it too.
He can kick. That's a great weapon. You see more schools doing it, more teams doing this across the country.
Ganji pinning Northwestern surprisingly inside the 5. Might be going for it on fourth down. Turns out their quarterback became the punter.
Okay, the punter, just one-step pooch. Great weapon if you have that. You see more teams doing that with their quarterbacks right from midfield. That's perfect. That's the old-fashioned pooch punt they used to do out of bounds back when I was growing up in college football in the NFL. Nice punt.
So now Northwestern starting from inside their 5. And look out. The packing up against Justin Jackson for a loss.
Not much doing up the middle against this Nevada defense all day long. They're just trying to run a little counter play, and somebody did not pick up one of their second-level defenders.
Yeah, their Sam linebacker, Austin Paulus, got in there quickly. And the rest of the party came in to help. So second and 11 now. This time some forward progress, but it's still going to be third and long after Gabe Sewell makes the tackle following a gain of 4.
Just trying to play safe, get some room, at least for your punter. You like to convert on third down, but you want to give your punter some room at the same time. It's tricky play calling down here.
Last drive was 14 plays for Northwestern. They ended up missing a chip shot field goal out of it. This time they're trying to avoid a 3 and out. From his end zone, rolling right. Incomplete. Trying to squeeze it into Macon Wilson, who has the Cats' only touchdown of the game. Instead, they will have to punt.
And nice coverage by Nevada. Just a simple rollout by Northwestern, trying to keep it safe and flood. Put 3 guys in a flood pattern to the wide side of the field, but Nevada covered it very well. All the way to the sideline. He had nowhere to go with the football. Good smart play by Clayton Thorson, though. Just throwing the ball away again. Punt, play some defense.
Always a dicey situation if you're Hunter Niswander and you're standing in your own end zone. But he's able to get it away cleanly. Low punt. Fossen, who fumbled one earlier, will not get near this one as it bounces across the 50-yard line. 44-yard punt, no return. Well, a good one so far. 7-7. Northwestern right on the shores of Lake Michigan. Stars from defense here. Anthony Walker is with Michelle.
Brendan, thank you. Anthony, what's the defense's perspective on what's happening on the field right now?
Just trying to get adjusted to the game. You know, it's a new system over there, so they're getting adjusted to it. But they're doing good. They're doing fine.
And for you personally, heading into your first NFL season, what excites you the most heading into your pro?
The unknowns. You know, I'm still a young guy out there, so just taking every experience as it comes, and it's been a blessing.
And lastly, how did Northwestern prepare you to step into such big shoes professionally?
I mean, you talk about on and off the field, Northwestern is a top program. So off the field, of course, you know, definitely prepare for life after football. And on the field, I think, you know, the system that we ran here was kind of similar to most NFL systems. So I was able to be, you know, brought up in a great system with great coaches, Coach Fitz, Coach Bates, and defensive coordinator Coach Hank. So I was blessed.
Anthony, thanks so much. Brandon, back up to you.
Thanks, Michelle. Dancing around the right side, Kincaid brought down by Jared McGee. Anthony Walker better not stand too close to the field. They might try to throw a jersey and pads on him.
He's the only player under Coach Fitzgerald's regime to leave and go to the NFL early. That's an amazing statement right there. Only player to do it.
Yeah, left after his junior season. 3rd and 3 here. And that last cut inside is going to give them a first down. 3-yard gain, just enough. And Nevada keeps the football. And not only are they hanging in this game, Chuck, but they're trying to take the lead here in the second quarter.
I love the way Kincaid's running the football, putting his pads down, putting that toe in the ground, and getting up the field hard for a big first down.
Northwestern has dominated time of possession, but that doesn't matter right now. Here's the air raid. Touchdown, McLean Maddox. He got behind the secondary and caught it in the end zone. It is a 41-yard strike to put the Wolfpack in front.
And McLean Maddox is one of the fastest guys on the field today, a 10-500 meter, and you saw why. Got right behind that great secondary on a little switch route. That's a little switch route, caused confusion with the Northwestern secondary. Nice play call by Matt Mumme again for the air raid, and a nice thrown ball by Ty Ganji.
And again, no Keith Watkins. That was Marcus McShepard, number 7, stepping in for Watkins, who he blew past. Not saying it was all McShepard's fault there. Not much help in the safety category, but Maddox showing that blazing speed.
There's that switch route down the field that causes confusion for defensive backs to be able to cover. Great throw and catch.
Spencer Pettit, sophomore kicker, splits the uprights. 14 unanswered points for Nevada.
Nice air, got it up high, kept him in stride. Big play for Nevada.
41-yard TD to McLean Maddox. Walk us through it, Chuck.
Well, you see McLean Maddox hit the slot at the top of the screen. Look at the little switch route. They switch responsibilities. It gets Maddox from the inside to the outside. There's confusion in the secondary, and he's wide open. He runs a 10-500 meter. No one's going to catch him. Nice route concept.
McLean Maddox, the true freshman from Midland, Texas. And his father, Kevin, played for Odessa Permian, the school featured in Friday Night Lights, and he was actually featured in that book way back in 1988 before it became famous for the TV show. As Moten is going to have trouble getting this one to the 20. He will not make it there. So Nevada fired up right now with a lead and pinning Northwestern inside the 20.
Well, Northwestern needs a little momentum here.
Fans, you can help the people affected by Hurricane Harvey by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Harvey to 90999. By doing that, you can make a $10 donation, and that donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. We're visiting with the Northwestern coaches, and boy, a lot of their players are from the Houston area. So many people affected by this storm, and certainly our thoughts go out to the folks of Texas that have been affected by that storm. For a little more on that, let's go downstairs to Michelle.
Yeah, Brandon, you mentioned a great point. The tragedy is taking place in Houston. This Northwestern team was inspired by the teammates who were affected by this, and in doing so, they're organizing a clothing drive to take place next week. They're gathering extra gear, any extra clothes these guys have, with the support of teammates now, former teammates, to donate down to the victims of Houston Harvey.
And one of those guys from Houston, Macon Wilson, who had the touchdown catch earlier, he led the team out of the tunnel earlier today with the Texas state flag. As Northwestern able to pick up the first down there.
Northwestern's picking it up a little bit more on offense now, trying to get to that outside zone as they did with Justin Jackson to play before. That's been their bread and butter so far. Not much on the inside. Everything's on the outside for Northwestern.
Saw Macon Wilson, number 15, at the bottom of your screen. 14 unanswered points as Thorson sees a little bit of a hole. Nevada with 14 unanswered, and that carry is able to get the Wildcats to the 35, a 7-yard gain as they search for the response.
Good decision by Clayton Thorson, little quarterback run game off their inside zone. Fakes it to Justin Jackson. Nobody there on the edge. He keeps it, reads the defensive end. Nice game.
Dickerson, the tight end, in motion. Screen, first down. Set 12 ahead, Jalen Brown blocking out in front. A 10-yard gain.
And that's the key to those bubble screens, is good blocking on the outside. That was a nice block by Jalen Brown to get it started.
Congratulations to Cody Langridge for freshman first catch of his Northwestern career. And this time, Bennett Skoranek. His first grab of 2017 out to midfield.
Bennett Skoranek is a big target for Clayton Thorson. Really came on strong last year as a go-to guy. He might be the guy that replaces Austin Carr as that go-to guy eventually, because he's such a big target.
So much to replace with Carr gone. Led the Big Ten in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Now a slot receiver with the Patriots. That's a good place to be. Dancing around to the outside, Justin Jackson flashing some of that footwork.
And that was all Justin Jackson. There was not much blocking on that play. Not quite sure what it was. Little counter play, misblocked, and he made something out of nothing there.
He can do that.
First is on Northwestern on the Nevada 47-yard line.
Getting back to Austin Carr, his junior year, he had 16 catches, and then last year he's at 90 catches. So they're saying, hey, if he did it, granted it's not easy shoes to fill, maybe somebody else can step up. But this time they'll keep it with a run game and Justin Jackson. Right now we send it back to Mike Hall in the studio.
Brandon, very quickly, Michigan is in trouble against Florida. This is a pass that is tipped from Wilton Speight, intercepted, returned for a score. Just a matter of seconds after this, the exact same thing happened. That's 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns for Florida. They're now up by 7.
Well, so the tide turning there in favor of the Gators quickly.
That's not like Wilton Speight to do that. He's very good at decision making as a Michigan quarterback. Rarely throws those kind of interceptions.
He was looking pretty sharp up to that point, as Mike told us earlier.
Northwestern picking it up a little bit. They slowed it down, I think, for their offensive line, just to make sure they know who they're blocking, their assignments. Now they're picking it back up a little bit more.
Third down at 6, maybe 4-yard territory here, or 4-down territory, I should say. They'll go with the option on the right side. Leaping. How about that acrobatic jump by Jackson? He pops up okay. He's going to be shy of the line to gain by a couple.
Just love watching him play. He is tough. Little option play on the outside. Here he is trying to get that extra yard.
And then he ran into Aki Muhammad after he was well out. Could make an argument that that should have been a penalty flag.
This is a big play here. They're going to call a timeout, decide whether to go for it, or you're in that weird zone. It's too short for the punt, too long for the field goal. You just had a freshman kicker just missed a chip shot. Makes decisions a lot tougher when you see that right away in a game. of an easy kick that's missed. Now, okay, we need to go for it here.
So what do you do in this situation?
Well, I don't think they have a choice. I think they're going to go for it. They need to get the momentum back in this game somehow. They had it early, and then they lost it. Now they need to go for it, get the momentum back.
You throw it or you handed it off?
I'd throw it.
They need two. Dickerson moving right to left. They will throw. And they'll pick it up. It is Dickerson on the reception. First down, Northwestern.
And they need to use Garrett Dickerson more in those situations. He's a big target. And that was a nice play call. Good job by Clayton Thorson in the pocket, moving around and finding, letting that route develop.
After the 6-yard pass play, they're going back to the air. Inside the 30. Hauling that one in is Justin Jackson.
Yeah, there's Justin Jackson. He put him outside. That's the same call, same play, but different guys doing the same play. Just a little slant on the inside. Mix of formation and personnel, but the same play to keep it simple for the quarterback.
Back-to-back 6-yard gains. Northwestern led 7-0, but since then, all Nevada. John Moten. Nowhere to go.
You know, Nevada runs a 3-3 stack defense. It's very unique. Not many teams run it nationally. And this is the first game for Northwestern to try to decipher this 3-3 stack. It's hard to get your blocking assignments on the correct man in this 3-3 stack. It's really a defense coordinator, Jeff Castillo's run it for a long time. Not many run it. Very unique.
And Jay Norvell said he hired Jeff Castillo because he remembers facing his defenses at West Virginia and said they were the hardest to prepare for. I want that guy to lead my defense. Moten slipping through the tackles, and now at the end of it, a pile being pushed in both directions. It'll be whistled down at the 25.
And they ran it on third medium there because they're in 4-down territory again. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They decide their kicker's not ready.
Would be a 43-yard field goal from here.
That's why they ran the ball in that third medium. Hey, we need to go for it on 4th down again.
That's exactly what they will do. So a moment ago, they converted on 4th and 2, and it's 4th and 2 once more. Time in the pocket, complete. Oh, the ball is out, and Nevada recovers. Ben Skoranek fumbled it. And it was picked up by the corner, Voshan Crumby.
There's an excellent play call and great execution. Clayton Thorson letting the route develop, stepping in the pocket, good firm throw. Skoranek has it. Get 2 hands on the ball at first contact.
Ladies and gentlemen, get out your contest cards.
Asani Rufus was able to jar it loose. And all the momentum right now with the visitors from Reno. Ben Skoranek there in the middle of your screen. Blocked by the towel right now, but he's frustrated. He fumbled the ball around the 10-yard line. Nevada pounced on it, and now they have the football and the lead. With 3:01 left in the second quarter. If this Northwestern defense can bow up, Angie will keep for a couple.
Right now, if you're Nevada, your strategy is to eat the clock and go into the locker room with a lead. You want to try to always go into halftime with a lead. They have it right now. Just a little safe quarterback run game and keep the clock running as much as possible.
The clock really has been on Northwestern's side as far as time of possession. They had a 5:35 drive that they missed a field goal on. The last drive was 6:47, and it ended with that fumble by Skoranek. Another deep ball just beyond the outstretched arms of Brendan O'Leary-Orange. They've tried to hit that speedster several times deep downfield.
And Ty Ganji had another touchdown pass. If he just puts a little bit more, steps in the pocket nice. Look at how flat that ball is. He needs to get that ball up in the air a little bit more, drop it in the bucket. He has another touchdown. Get it up there high. O'Leary-Orange has great speed, 4.4 speed. Get it up there high and let him run under it.
Was able to get behind Montre Hardage. The Cats secondary struggling a little bit here in the first half. Setting up the screen. And there's a pretty big gap. Easily a first down for Brandon Scott. All the way out to the 35, a gain of 19.
You know, you don't see many screens to the tight end. They're usually to running backs and wide receivers. Excellent play call by offensive coordinator Matt Mumme. Here it is. Little look-off screen to the tight end. No one expects that to the tight end. Nice play call.
Matt Mumme was telling us it's a little bit of a misnomer that the air raid doesn't target the tight end. We're going to target them. That was the first catch of the day for either tight end on the side of Nevada. And then it's followed up by a reception from Caleb Fossum for a first down.
I like what Ty Ganji's doing in the pocket now, using all his receivers, moving around, throwing the ball accurately.
Pressure comes, and he had to get rid of it because Tyler Lancaster was draped all over his back.
Smart play by Ganji. And Tyler Lancaster is the leader of this football team. Where's number 1? Given to the leader on the football team. And that's very rare when it comes from a defensive lineman.
Absolutely. That is a special, special honor at Northwestern. He was number 67 last year. But they said his character and leadership best represented the team, so he dons that number 1 jersey. Jackson Kincaid went more east-west than north-south before being brought down by Patty Fisher after a gain of 2.
And Patty Fisher is a young player, but has a lot of promise. 6'4", 245-pound, redshirt freshman. He fills the big shoes of Anthony Walker, but he's going to be a future star in this for this Northwestern Wildcat football team.
Yeah, they kind of see he and Nathan Fox as 1 and 1A to replace Walker. Over the middle, wide open, Mannix. He had the touchdown earlier. Sort of picking apart that secondary for the Cats, Chuck.
And they have to be aware of McLean Mannix. Again, he is the fastest player on their team, and he's in the slot, and they're losing track of him. Good job by Ty Ganji looking off to the left and hitting Mannix on a seam route to the right. No defender nearby.
35-yard play, setting them up nicely just outside the red zone. Now they're in the red zone. Fossum with another reception. Then he's eventually hit and brought down by Godwin Igwebuike, a gain of 7.
And Ty Ganji and company are in a nice rhythm right now.
And Nevada's going to burn their second timeout with 47 seconds remaining. Let's take another peek at that pass to McLean Mannix.
Well, here is Ganji's looking off to his left, and the secondary just got confused again, and they're letting one of the fastest players on the field get behind him too much. Here he is in the slot, and he's just running a little seam route. Woo!
Surprised at the issues by Northwestern secondary so far?
Very surprised. Yes, a veteran secondary. They call them the Sky. They call themselves the Sky Team because they want to eliminate movement in the air. That's how they put it to us. I never heard that before. But it is a veteran secondary and should be the strength of their football team. Right now, they've had some issues in the back end. I don't think they're back far enough. I don't think they're too close to the line of scrimmage and let these fast receivers get behind them.
Coming up just a little bit, Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report from just across town in our studio here in Chicago. They added 2 seconds to the clock from 47 to 49. That one for the end zone, no. They were trying to find Wyatt Dimms, who had a touchdown grab earlier. Couldn't haul that in.
Well, Ty Ganji was trying to back shoulder throw, and he just threw it a little bit too high. Just needs to throw it to the outside a little bit more, a little lower. And those back shoulder throws are really hard to cover. That's why everybody runs them. Almost impossible to cover those, but it takes an accurate throw.
Whistles coming in here before the snap as Northwestern will opt to use the timeout. A quick break, and then we're right back to Evanston. Their lead against Pat Fitzgerald's Northwestern team. And the faithful here at Ryan Field, a little bit of a surprise, the situation they're in.
Yeah, look for a crossing type route by Nevada or a little pick right on the outside. It looks like they're set up for that.
Some quiet folks in purple, and they're going to be a lot quieter if Nevada converts here. What did offensive coordinator Matt Mumme and head coach Jay Norvell draw up? Time to find out. Not yet.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That'll drive a coach crazy coming out of a timeout.
Come out of a timeout, Brandon, exactly right. Drives you crazy, should not happen. You have to be able to have more efficiency on the sideline, but Coach Norvell will learn that, you know. First-year head coach, you're going to have some bugs. So far, they've actually had a clean operation. There hasn't really been any miscues with this offense at all for Nevada.
From here, it would be about a 32-yard field goal. But they're not thinking about that right now. 3rd and 8. Ganji. Incomplete. Even if Fossum had caught it, the Cats were in hot pursuit.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have gone very far, probably a couple-yard gain, but just threw the ball a little bit too high on the swing line. Those are hard throws to master. But no harm, no foul. You know, you don't want to turn it over down here in the red zone. And they didn't, at least they didn't do that.
Spencer Pettit did not attempt a lot of field goals last year, 7 of 9. He took over for Brent Zuzo in the middle of the season. And this will be officially a 31-yard field goal, but first Pat Fitzgerald wants to try to ice Mr. Pettit. He did get a practice kick, though, that went up and through.
Just a little ice now, but there's a nice drive by Nevada. You know, ace the clock up. That's what you want to do in the last 2 minutes. Again, you want to go into the, if you have a lead, you want to hold on that lead going into halftime. And so they're in good position here to get more points going into halftime.
Jay Norvell talking with his quarterback, Ty Ganji, and coming into the game, there was a debate pretty much all the way up to kick. Who would start? Would it be Ganji or the Alabama transfer David Cornwell? It's been Ganji, and the returns have been good.
The returns have been good. It's the right decision. And Ganji's been hot. He's really moved the ball efficiently and has shown some leadership out there as well.
Spencer Pettit, officially a 31-yarder between the hashes. And it is good. With 36 seconds left in the half, Nevada has opened up a 2-score advantage.
And the Northwestern sideline has no energy right now, and they need to get their energy back.
73-yard drive, took 2:25 off the clock. It ends with that 31-yard boot. Wolfpack by 10. Seconds here, 1 timeout in their pocket.
I think going to halftime, Coach Fitzgerald has to get his team and that energy back up. Right now, they're a little flat, stunned. They're probably stunned, but you have to get that energy up.
Yeah, the crowd energy way down as well. As that one just does go through the end zone. Not the best kickoff from Quentin Conaway, but it worked.
They had 11 plays on that last scoring drive, and Nevada methodically just drove it down the field. And usually on an 11-play drive, someone's going to make a mistake on offense, and they did. Very efficient on offense.
How do you approach this? 1 timeout, 36 seconds for Northwestern.
Well, you usually come out and run the ball. It looks like they're going empty, so they're gonna use the clock and go 2-minute drill here and try to get some points on the board, get down to a field goal range.
A trio and a triangle at the bottom of your screen. Empty set. In and out of the hands of Justin Jackson. They're going to go ahead and try to pick it up, but that ball was incomplete.
And that's okay if that's incomplete. It stops the clock. If he gets tackled there, then they'll probably run out the clock. But that gives, actually, the incomplete pass gives them some chances now with clock stoppage to keep it rolling. Jackson. Just a little crossing route here, and that's a good incomplete. Sometimes you like those incompletes. You have 1 timeout, you want to be able to use that. The clock's running, you have to use it right away.
Jackson was greeted not so nicely by linebacker Austin Paulus. on that last play. This time they'll just hand it to him.
See if they call timeout here. If they don't, then they'll just go into halftime.
Patrick Chowda with a tackle. They are not going to take a timeout. Reminder coming up, a Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Dave Resson, Howard Griffith, and Coach Jerry DiNardo will be joining you from the studio. And Northwestern is not going to run another play. And Nevada, a little bit of a stunner, up 10 at half.
And that's smart. They got to regroup at halftime. Good half for Nevada. Good momentum.
After 31 years as an assistant, Jay Norvell's Pack have come into enemy territory and gone up 17-7. And let's go down to Michelle. She's with Pat Fitzgerald.
Coach, what's the biggest problem the Nevada offense is causing for your defense right now?
Well, explosive plays. We talked about it before the game. You know, we give up an exchange route for a touchdown, then a little stutter on the safety for a big play right there. So just got to settle down a little bit.
And how do you re-energize this group in settling them down here at the half?
Look at the scoreboard. Let's go. You know, we got a red zone missed field goal. We got a red zone fumble. You know, we knew what we were going to get into. We understood that. Now we put ourselves behind the 8 ball. Let's go play one play at a time. Get right back in the game.
Coach, thanks so much, Brandon.
Michelle, not a good second quarter for the Cats. They didn't score. They had a turnover. They missed a field goal. And Nevada scores the last 17 points of the first half. And they will head into the lockers up double digits, 17-7. It was not the first half Northwestern was hoping for.
No, you had the missed field goal by Kubander early. Takes the momentum right out of your sails when you get down there in the red zone. Thorson delivers a strike to Skoranek, and he fumbles. Needs to get 2 hands on the ball on contact, fumbles. Nevada passes on the ball. There's some opportunity for points lost on those 2 miscues because they were right down in there in the red zone.
Also had 6 negative yardage plays in addition to the fumble loss, the missed field goal, 4 penalties.
Yeah, it's not, you know, you're going to have some miscues in the first game, in the first half, usually in the first game of the year. But hey, Nevada's taking advantage, and Nevada really hasn't had any. So it's been a good, clean game for them.
There's Jay Norvell, the 54-year-old head coach, first time as a head coach. And looking good through 2 quarters. And now Nevada will receive to start the third. As Luke Otto gets the right leg into it. Fossum. Flag coming in right before Fossum hit the turf.
Usually a hold on the return, probably will bring it back.
I believe they signaled that this is going against Northwestern unless our field judge signals the wrong way.
Thank you, Bradley Produce, for your support of Northwestern Athletics. Your chance to be the next Produce Kickoff Kids. Sign up with any of the 4 participants.
During the return, holding, return team, number 25. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So it is indeed against the return team. Let's take a look at our Quicken Loans quarterback comparison so far.
Well, so far, you know, you see Ty Ganges, the percentage is not great, but he's had big plays that's really hurt that Northwestern secondary compared to Clayton Thorson, who's had the percentage, but not the big plays so far. So it's all been about big plays for Nevada, and as we talked to Coach Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator for Northwestern, what did he tell us? We cannot give up big plays like we did last year. So far, not off to a good start.
Mike Hankwitz, defensive coordinator, Mick McCall, offensive coordinator, both been here 10 years. So much consistency on that staff as it's a carry for 4 yards up to the 18-yard line. Nate Hall, Kyle Cairo combining on the tackle of Kincaid.
Let's see if Nevada keeps the same pace. It looks like they're going to keep the same pace on offense.
Nate Hall, another part of the linebacking crew. Patty Fisher, Nathan Fox, Brett Walsh trying to all pick up the pieces with a loss of Mr. Walker that we visited with earlier. That one thrown out left side, incomplete, intended for Caleb Fossum. Michelle visited at halftime with Jay Norvell. Michelle, what did you find out?
Yeah, Brandon, to Chuck's point, he does actually want to go a little bit faster offensively. He said he was really proud of the way his guys came out and played in that first half. He also said they look like they have fresh legs. You got to remember, these guys in Reno, Nevada are practicing above 4,500 feet above sea level. So he felt that it was an advantage coming here to Chicago and that these guys look fresh out there on Nevada's side, guys.
Not so fresh on that play as Ganji was scrambling. Gaziano was bringing pressure, and he threw it away.
That's a great point by Michelle as far as the altitude, and they do look fresher than Northwestern right now.
Coach of the 2009 BCS National Championship game with Oklahoma, the Super Bowl as well with the Oakland Raiders.
Absolutely. We overlapped 1 month when I was an assistant at Oklahoma. He just got, they came from Indianapolis Colts. We hired him for a month at Oklahoma, and then he went to the Oakland Raiders a month later.
13 different stops for him in his 31-year stint as an assistant at all those different places. Fair catch by Flynn Nagel. Oh, by the way, we mentioned that Chuck Long played with Jay Norvell. Here's a picture of the 85 Hawkeyes. I think I recognize number 16 in the front.
You like the hair, don't you? Jay didn't have as much hair as I did.
Wait, did he have some hair on the upper lip, though? Is that a mustache?
He had a mustache going. What a great teammate. A great teammate. I'm so happy for him. You mentioned 13 stops. You know, when am I ever going to get a chance? He's probably thinking that. And he finally gets his chance, and so far he's making the most of it against Northwestern in his debut.
If you saw, by the way, the little protrusion on his cheek, he has an atomic fireball addiction. This is a true story, and he always has one on the sideline. First Northwestern offensive possession, and it doesn't start out very well through the hands of Garrett Dickerson.
Well, you always want an edge as a head coach, so his edge is the fireball.
He says he's been chewing and eating them so long, as we've got a member of the Wolfpack down here, that his mouth he's become immune to him. They're not even hot anymore. That's linebacker Travis Wilson with his back on the turf.
Jay was outstanding coach, really good football player in college. Led the Big Ten in interceptions his senior year in 1985. Got right into coaching, and has been with some great coaches, Barry Alvarez, Bob Stoops, and he told me he's really going to use a lot of Hayden Fry in his coaching philosophy. So he said, hey, as much as I've been with these other great coaches in the NFL and in college, I'm using a lot of what Hayden Fry taught me, which is a credit to Hayden and his coaching tree.
Yeah, absolutely. And now he's just hoping that his linebacker, Travis Wilson, got the first start of his career here today. As a senior from Cedar Hill, Texas, walks off the field. Yeah, there's been a lot of good coaching influences on all of Jay Norvell's stops, as you're alluding to. Early third quarter, Clayton Thorson trying to go back to work and get the groove. That'll help. Ben Scarani had that fumble in the first half of the red zone. He secured it there.
And there's a simple curl route and a nice throw on time by Clayton Thorson. You have a Nevada player down out there, but that was a nice throw with an easy curl route.
And for Nevada, that's not the guy you want down, number 90, Malik Reed. Defensive coordinator Jeff Castile said if we are going to win football games, we have to have Malik Reed on the field making plays.
Well, he's your leader. He's your best pass rusher, one of the best players on your football team. It's good to see him get up on his own and jog off the field.
A collective sigh of relief for Jay Norvell and company over there on the sideline, I'm sure.
They like moving Malik Reed around in the formation. He's not always on one side just because of his pass rushing ability. Northwestern has nice field position now with the first down. They need to capitalize.
Option. Second time they've done that today. And it'll pick up a first down. Jelani Roberts getting the carry. Normally the wide receiver for 11 yards.
And that was a misdirection option play with a fake going one way and option coming back out the other, just to confuse those linebackers, and exactly what they did. They had a nice gain out of it.
They ran 3 jet sweeps with Roberts last year. They like to get him the ball in interesting ways, as they did there. Wide open. Flynn Nagel cradling it in as he goes to the ground.
Good job by Flynn Nagel, because that was a low throw. Clayton Thorson didn't have his feet set, threw a low ball, and Flynn Nagel knew that, got low, cradled the ball. Make the catch first.
Second one. First down. Justin Jackson.
Now Northwestern's picking up the tempo here, trying to wear out that Nevada defense. Pick it up a little bit faster.
Would have loved to have heard what Pat Fitzgerald said to the crew at intermission, because you know he was fired up.
Fired up, get some energy back. Looks like they're trying to do that offensively.
Play action. On the run. Complete. Riley Lee's first catch of the afternoon, and they're down inside the 10.
Little bootleg to the outside, pocket movement, get Clayton Thorson on the edge. That's where I think Clayton Thorson's really grown. Throwing on the run accurately, keeping his receiver on the move after the catch.
Redshirt freshman Riley Lee's first catch of the afternoon, first catch of his career.
Yeah, Nevada confused right now. Can't get lined up.
But they're able to stuff Justin Jackson right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
I'll tell you what, Northwestern has gone to that well too many times. It is tough running inside against this Nevada defense. They've tried all day. Very few yards going up the middle on this stout defense. Need to get to the ball on the outside like they did in the first half. Get on that outside zone, get on the edge a little bit. That's where Nevada's weak at this point.
Malik Reed right back into the game and making that tackle, so that's a great sign for the Wolfpack. Thorson rolling left. And it is dropped.
Yeah, that was a risky throw on a flat route. They were trying to flood one side of the coverage, and Nevada had it sniffed out. I would run the ball if I was Clayton Thorson. You don't need to force that ball in, especially when you're near the 5-yard line. Just run the football. Might have a chance to score there.
Would have been a spectacular catch for Flynn Nagel, but was not able to haul it in. And third down, remember they missed the chip shot field goal earlier with a freshman, so maybe a field goal not a sure thing from here. They want to punch it in, get 6. But Nagel, that time an easier potential catch for a touchdown. He could not haul that in.
And that was a nice play call. Malik Reed got in Clayton Thorson's face a little bit, caused that throw to be errant. But, man, you got to come down with that throw. Here it is. That's a nice throw. You have 2 hands on the ball. He needs to come down with that one.
Still wasn't easy. It wasn't easier than the one before.
Yeah, little high throw. Clayton needs to get that elbow up.
Chance for Kubander to redeem himself, and he does. So he missed from 21 in the first half. Knocks that chip shot through from 23. And just like that, we're back to a 1-score game. The field, and for more on that, Michelle is with his father, Philip.
Yeah, we might as well get a fatherly perspective on this. You were a leader for Justin his whole life. He described you as his biggest role model. What do you see your son as?
My biggest role model. He's a wonderful, wonderful young man. I'm very, very proud of him. He works so hard. He's just proud to lead this team and to lead in a community way as well.
What gives you the most sense of pride when you reflect back on your son's 4-year career here at Northwestern?
That he did it the right way. He worked hard, tried to provide leadership as a young man, and then as an older, veteran young man, providing continued leadership for his teammates.
Well, Philip, thank you so much for the time. Brandon, back up to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, Philip, a great example for a great young man, and Justin Jackson. Nevada will bring this out and start at the 25.
Well, Northwestern has some momentum back. Had a nice drive there. 1-7, of course, got 3. They needed to get on the board. They went a long time without scoring and needed those points. Give a little confidence for your field goal kicker who missed one early.
The last 3 times that Northwestern has gotten inside Nevada's 30, they've only totaled 3 points. And you saw them a moment ago. Angie off the play fake. Nice pass, nice catch. Out toward midfield goes Wyatt Demps.
And Wyatt Demps is the leading receiver last year. He's big and strong. That was a perfectly executed play action fake, and Densis runs a post route right over the middle. Linebackers get sucked up on the fake. Easy pitch and catch.
24 yards to the senior from Elk Grove, California. Back to the pistol look for the Wolfpack. And a reverse. Panics. And he'll be brought down. So some eye candy, but only a 1-yard gain.
That was a nice job by the Northwestern defense, sniffing that out. Nate Hall staying at home on the backside of that reverse. That's great discipline.
He's the top returning linebacker as far as tackles go from a year ago when he had 73 of them. Ganji, safe underneath throw. Well shy of the first down marker. Brett Walsh helping lead the pursuit defensively.
Now, Northwestern's defense looks better. Looks like they're in better position in the second half. Obviously, Coach Fitzgerald says something at halftime. Say, you guys are out of position too much for a veteran secondary. They look a lot more sound right now to get Nevada in a 3rd and long situation. Nevada's confused right now with their substitution.
Still 8 seconds on the play clock. Batted away. Marcus McShepard, who's been burnt a couple times in this game, swatted it free of Justin Brent.
And that was a nice play by McShepard on a fade route. Is one-on-one coverage. One-on-one coverage down here to the right side of the screen. Actually didn't even play the ball. One-on-one on the outside, just a simple fade route. Got his hands up. Nice breakup. Here's the breakup. Good defensive series right there for Northwestern.
Unfortunately, though, McShepard's slow to get up as the athletic training staff huddles around him. Getting the start for the injured Keith Watkins.
And with that injury, defensive coordinator Mike Hankwitz wasn't afraid to go man-to-man coverage on a big 3rd down. Has a lot of confidence in those corners. Whenever you go 3rd down on a man-to-man on a 3rd down, that shows that you have a lot of confidence in your players.
You get past McShepard. Brian Bullock, J.R. Pace are both options at cornerback as well. Hopefully McShepard's okay. 4th down and 7. And Nevada keeping the offense out there. We saw them do this in the first half. It's just going to be a pooch punt. This one doesn't work out nearly as well. Ganji in the first half pinned Northwestern inside the 5 on the pooch. That one off the side of his foot and out of bounds. But the Pack still up.
To the sideline where he's most dangerous, but Nevada sniffed it out. Nice pursuit defensively. Big 3rd down and long here. Big call.
Do you try to get half back and go for it on 4th?
Depends on what Coach Fitz told him, and I believe that's what he's told him. Here's the blitz by Nevada.
Thorson. He's going to tuck it. Across the 40. I think he got it. Flag comes in late. Now he's definitely going to get it. Because 15 yards is going to be tacked on to the end of this.
And that was a great decision by Clayton Thorson because he had nobody open down the field, and he knew it. Gets outside the pocket, knows where that 1st down marker is, and then the late hit.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
It was not 18.
No, it was number 6, Neffy Sewell.
Yeah, it was not 18, but it was a late hit. And that was a nice decision by Clayton Thorson. Keep the chains moving. Of course, the penalty is going to give him more yardage. Now they're in that red zone area. Again, they've been struggling. They struggled here.
So it was 3rd and 12, a 13-yard run by Thorson. Tack on 15 more for the penalty. 2 defensive penalties this drive for the Wolfpack. Thorson sets up shot, throws, caught, touchdown! Diving in for the score. The extra point. Riley Lease, the first touchdown grab of his career.
The redshirt freshman with a nice over-the-middle route. They spread the defense out. There's nobody in the middle. Good eyes by Clayton Thorson coming back. Looking to his left, coming back to his right.
Extra point to tie it is up, and Kubaner has done just that. He's tied us up at 17. Number 19, Riley Lease, with a 19-yard touchdown reception. First of his career. We are even in Evanston. All even at 17, and that last play we saw is our Eat Street's fastest delivery.
One of the best throws Clayton Thorson's made all day. Just drilled it in there past the linebacker to Reese, and what a good throw. And then he finished it off with a touchdown, and that's good red zone production that they haven't had.
Previous three red zone trips, Chuck, they'd only totaled 3 points. That time better.
But Clayton Thorson looked good in that pocket, that throw. He set his feet, kept that elbow up, and that thing was a dart in there past that linebacker with a tight window.
Northwestern 10 points in the last 5:20 on the game clock to even us up. Fossum from the goal line. He fumbled earlier, and he fumbles again. And Nevada also has another player down. Big hit by Warren Long to jar the ball loose, and then this does not look good. Clutching that left leg. Second time, though, that Fossum has fumbled on a return.
Yeah, here's Fossum, and ball's popped out.
And we will step aside with the injury timeout. 6:09 left in the third quarter. A sight you hate to see. Caleb Fossum just being carted off the field, was returning it, fumbled it, and then he went down in a heap of pain. Washington State transfer, who they had so many high hopes for, and that's a tough loss, Chuck.
Yeah, that is a tough loss. We'll hope for the best for him. Hopefully he can come back, but that really a good receiver for him. And has provided a lot of leadership for this team.
He reached out to Nevada, said he wanted to play there, needed a spot to land, wanted to transfer from Washington State, signed on July 31st, the day that camp started. And they had so much hope for him, and we just hope that he is okay. So he exits, and now play resumes with Ty Ganji going out of the gun. 6:09 remaining. Tie ball game. An inside handoff to Jackson Kincaid across the 15-yard line.
I like the way Jackson Kincaid played today as well. Just like Justin Jackson on the other side for Northwestern. Keeps his pads down, and tough inside runner.
On 2nd and 5 with pressure coming, he dumps it off to Kincaid in the passing game. He sees where the line to gain is, and he picks up the first. And we go back to the studio and Mike Hall.
Brandon, the latest from Texas is Michigan's doing nice against Florida. They're down here until Karan Higdon scores. They get fumbles on back-to-back possessions, get some field goals. So they're now up 26-17 on the Gators.
So a 9-point lead there for Michigan. Thank you, Mike. And here we are all even in what's been a great game. Nice tackle. Coming up, making the play, Jared McGee, the safety, the junior from Mansfield, Texas.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by Jared McGee because there was some space in there, and that's a one-on-one in the hole. And he made a great open field tackle. on a really good running back in Kincaid. Nice play by Jared McGee. Very consistent, smart player. Makes the calls back there.
Gagey throwing on second. Somehow he split that in between 3 purple jerseys and found Wyatt Dimps.
And he had McLean Mannix in the slot, wide open, running down the seam. There's Mannix. Just didn't see him.
He wanted to go the tough route to impress us.
Absolutely.
Gagey has certainly shown some glimpses as to why they picked him over David Cornwell as the starter. What a spin. Jackson Kincaid getting to the second level for a 12-yard gain.
That's a nice move in the hole, little spin move. You don't like running backs doing that much because that's where the fumbles happen. Watch the spin right there, and up the field, great vision. And look at him tuck the ball, put 2 hands on the ball in traffic.
The Wolfpack looking for an answer after 10 straight points by Northwestern has evened us up. Underneath again, Kincaid to the 50.
This has been the Kincaid drive so far. He's touched the ball just about every play in the rush game and the pass game, but really smart quarterbacking right now by Gagey. You know, he's looking down the field. Northwestern's covering a lot better down the field. He's just dumping the ball off. Take what they give you. We always talk about that for quarterbacks. It's hard to do, though. But Gagey's doing that.
You know, they love to see that out of Kincaid after James Butler, the incumbent running back, transferred to Iowa. Wyatt Dimps on a dangerous pass again, but he hauls it in again.
Boy, that was nice coverage by Northwestern. That was a great catch, like you said, Brandon. Holy cow.
I mean, Marcus McShepard was draped all over him. It's just a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, great hands. There's just a little stop route on the outside. Oh, nice hands. Extended those arms and strong hands.
Now, if you're Jay Norvell, you're impressed, but are you saying, please don't throw that ball next time, or are you okay with that?
No, you don't want to throw that ball. That's an interception ball.
3rd down. 4 yards to go. Here comes pressure. Incomplete. And bearing down Joe Gaziano, who's trying to replace their top rusher from a year ago, Afadi Adenabo.
Coverage is so much better down the field for Northwestern, and they had a little pass rush as well, but that was a coverage sack. They're causing Gagey to hold that ball in the back end to allow those defensive linemen to get there. Nice cover sack. Secondary's playing so much better right now. Their spacing is so much better in the back end.
A lot sharper than what we saw in the first half, indeed. It's the Wildcats defense. They have stopped them on 4 straight 3rd downs. Not the best of punts, but it will take a nice bounce and turn out to be a really good punt.
Nice punt.
So maybe that's how Quentin Conaway planned it all along.
The old rugby-style punt. It's a nice weapon for punters in today's game of college football.
42-yard punt, no return. Tonight, college football on BTN and Fox continues as Purdue battles number 16 Louisville at 7:30 Eastern on Fox, and at 8 Eastern, Nebraska takes on Arkansas State right here on BTN. Those should be a couple of good games. Jeff Brom air at Purdue going to get underway.
Great slate of games starting off the season. Had a Big Ten game right off the bat with Ohio State and Indiana Thursday night.
Yep. Minnesota, the P.J. Fleck era starting there with a 10-point win. So from inside their 5, Northwestern trying to get a little bit of space to eke out from the shadows of their goalpost, but that one goes for nothing for Jackson.
Yeah, you don't want to play too. You want to be safe down here, and I'm a former play caller, so I know it's like your game plan is really limited down here, but you don't want to play it too safe. Try to get on the edge with some rollouts, a little bootleg. Northwestern needs to start punching the ball out from these situations. Give yourself some field position.
Thorson will take the snap, standing in the end zone. Jackson, he got away from 1, he got away from 2, he got away from 3. All that, though, for a short gain to the 6 before he's brought down by E.J. Muhammad.
It's like a pinball in there, and he's hard to bring down. But that was all Justin Jackson. There was nothing there in the hole. It was a little outside zone, and Nevada played it well, but he just made something out of nothing again. That's just sheer ability.
How do you think he projects at the next level?
Oh, I think he projects great because he has great hands as a pass receiver. That makes all the difference in the NFL now.
Senior from Carroll Stream, Illinois. Now it's the junior Thorson setting up the throw, evading the pressure, stepping up and firing long, and it's caught by Skoranek. A flag in as well. As Skoranek says, first down Northwestern. We'll wait to see what the laundry is all about.
Sideline interference. Nevada. The 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. An automatic first down.
Wow, so that's a 48-yard play and then 15 on top.
Smart play by Thorson by just underthrowing this ball really high to a tall receiver, Skoranek, and bring him back towards the line of scrimmage. Here, he's running a little post route, Skoranek is, but Thorson does a nice job of underthrowing the ball and letting him come back to it. Heads up play by Skoranek coming back to the ball. And the new sideline rule is they're going to call those penalties on coaches now. Can't get out of that box.
So that turns into a 63-yard play after the penalty. Flag on this play as well, as refusing to go down. They just have to push Jackson out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds by a Sonic group. Flag on the play.
Hold. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So a penalty against Nevada and now one against Northwestern.
Yep, Gunnar Vogel. He's had a good spring. Had a good spring, good camp. Just a redshirt freshman. Been pretty clean on the O-line in terms of lack of holding, lack of penalties, not a lot of jumps.
Vogel comes out. They put Rashawn Slater in at that right tackle spot, and they run it that way for a gain of 4.
And Coach Fitzgerald told us, right, Brandon, they're going to rotate a bunch of linemen in there anyway, up to 8 or 9, which is very rare. You want to stick with your 5 guys, but they're not afraid to rotate 8 or 9 guys in there.
When you're doing that early with an O-line that struggled last year, is it depth or are these auditions that are going on the offensive line?
A little bit of both. Trying to create some depth and auditions as well.
Getting toward the end of the third quarter, Jackson just didn't have any room. He dove at the end to get a short gain. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
And Nevada's crowding that box right now. They are crowded with 9 defenders in there. Daring Northwestern to throw the ball. Now you have a 3rd long situation.
That's what the Wildcats will face for the start of the 4th quarter.
The score, Northwestern.
We are through 3 in Evanston. And if you came for a good game, well, we got you. 17 for Nevada, 17 for the Wildcats of Northwestern. Going to start 2017 better at home than they have in previous years. Got off to a tough start last year. And you see, home openers haven't been kind to Pat Fitzgerald.
They haven't been good, and they were only 3 and 4 at home last year all season. And if you want to contend for a championship in the West, you have to take care of your home. I mean, you have to secure that, defend that. And they need to work on that here at Northwestern this year.
Big 3rd and 14. Is this 4-down territory for the Cats?
I think they try to get some of it back. Try to get yourself in field goal range and rely on your kicker. I know he's missed one. He's also made one. Try to give some of it back.
Nevada rushes 4. They will get some, but not all that they need. Flynn Nagel with a reception. So that gets them to about the 27. From there, it's a 44-yard field goal.
Tough decision. They are going for it.
And they're keeping the offense out there. Freshman kicker who missed a chip shot and made a chip shot so far in this game, Charlie Kubander. They're keeping him on the sideline.
I thought they'd give him a shot, try to get the points out of it.
What a big play in this game.
Yeah. Nevada's playing man-to-man across the board with the blitz.
Here comes the pressure. Oh, he threw it high. He had him.
And that's Clayton Thorson. Just threw it high, didn't set his feet. Had some trouble with that last year with mechanics, where he didn't set his feet, just threw all arm. Offensive coordinator Mick McCall talked about that. His base got too wide, and he didn't get his arm up, and that ball just sailed on him.
That's one guy he hasn't been in sync with, the Oregon grad transfer Jalen Brown.
Right. Just a bad throw by Clayton Thorson. Set your feet, get your shoulders, hips in alignment, and your feet in alignment with the throw.
So the offense back to the bench, and now Nevada's offense with that pack attack air raid offense, but this time it's not through the air. It's by land out to the 40. 13-yard gain before Igwebuike can make the tackle on Kelton Moore.
And Nevada's going to pick it up a little bit more right now, trying to go fast, trying to wear out that defense. Here's fourth quarter, where tackle can get sloppy. Tackling.
Trying to go up top, but it drops down, but a flag comes in. Marcus McShepard trying to stay with Wyatt Debs.
Just a fade route. And McShepard is down.
We saw McShepard go down earlier
Defense,
this
number
half.
7, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
We saw McShepard go down and hold that shoulder earlier. They brought him back out, and he appears to have re-injured it.
Re-injured it. Now this is a mismatch. You know, Debs is 6'4". McShepard's 5'11". This is a mismatch, and that's a nice job of Nevada going to that mismatch.
He fell right on that shoulder. It's the senior McShepard.
Well, he's tough. He hurt it before. He came back in, tried to play some more. Tough kid. There he is. He just landed right on that shoulder. Had his arm pinned. Couldn't get his left hand out there to brace himself. So just pinned that arm and landed right on your shoulder, right on his shoulder.
So he walks off as the penalty will give Nevada a first down at the 45 of Northwestern.
And they're trying to move Debs around because he is 6'4". He's a big, strong receiver trying to create some mismatches for their offense.
Bouncing it outside more. Great run. Another first down.
See, this is what happens in the fourth quarter after up-tempo offense all day long. Tackling gets sloppy. Northwestern's missing a lot of tackles right now. That play should have been stopped for no gain, and ended up being a first down gain.
13 yards to be precise, with 13:33 remaining from Ryan Field. A keeper. Ganji made two, then miss. Eventually dragged down by Brett Walsh from behind, but that's the elusiveness that Ganji brings to the table.
Yeah, that was a great play by Ganji, just stopping his feet. Here's your quarterback run game, and he keeps it.
I think Ganji has secured his spot for week 2.
And Northwestern's tired defensively again. Missed tackles.
Clean pocket. But it's picked. Intercepted right around the goal line by Kyle Cairo, the senior.
And you want your seniors to come up with big plays, especially an experienced senior like Kyle Cairo. He did a nice job of baiting Ganji. And faded back and made a nice play. Nice job by Cairo reading that quarterback. Ganji just had tunnel vision and threw it up there, thought he had the corner out. Kyle Cairo said, hey, you're not going to get this on me. Read Ganji's eyes perfectly, faded back, made a nice play.
Only bad news is Northwestern is now set up just outside of their goal line to try to push the pile forward. Give them a little bit of a cushion, but not much. Just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, they need to do something different down here. I know it's a tough place to call plays from, but wouldn't hurt to have a tight formation and have it throw a bomb out there or some kind of stop or out route on the outside just to get it out from underneath there.
So they're being a little too conservative.
A little too conservative right now. Backed up.
Speronic goes in motion to the right. We'll go on the ground with Jackson. Spinning out across the 5 before he's hit by Austin Paulus.
And it's easy for me to say up here, Brandon. Yeah. But I've been in those shoes and as a play caller, and again, you just don't have a big game plan down here. You have 4 or 5 plays, really. You don't put a lot of practice time in it either. You just don't have the time. You may do it for about 20 minutes on a Thursday, and that's about it. But they need to open up to a different part of their playbook. Looks like they're doing that now.
On 3rd and 6, assuming they will go to the air, and they will. Nevada brings the house, and it's intercepted. Elijah Moody returning it right around the 17-yard line, and just like that, the Wolfpack answer the pick of Northwestern with a pick of their own, and Chuck, they're going to have it in the red zone.
They are. That's just another high throw by Clayton Thorson, and he has some pressure on his face, but he just couldn't follow through with his arm, and his right elbow needs to get higher on his throws. They're too low. There it is, just a little down and in route. Just do it too high. And here we go. Nevada has great field position after a big turnover down there. That's probably why they don't do much out of it coming out.
Good job by Moody to stick with it, the corner, and get the pick. Now the first play of this series goes to Jackson Kincaid down to the 13 for a gain of 4.
And here you want to, if you're Nevada, they're still going fast down here, trying to get Northwestern on their heels. Tire them out.
The Wolfpack led by 10 at intermission. Northwestern's tied it. Now the Pack looking for that lead right back. Incomplete. And they were targeting Dips again. He was able to haul it in, but he was out of bounds. Brian Bullock was there on the cover.
And that was a nice play by Brian Bullock, but that was a back shoulder throw by Ganji to Dempsey, his big 6'4" target. Boy, his nice hands. Just out of bounds here, but man, he is strong at the catch point.
And now Bullock is receiving attention from the medical staff. He just came in to replace the injured Marcus McShepard.
And they have some issues right now with the secondary. Let's just hope he's okay.
So Watkins out and couldn't play. McShepard goes out with an apparent shoulder injury, and now Brian Bullock, the freshman, comes in and he's hurt.
It's hard to simulate games in practice. You know, nobody hits as much anymore, and there's good reason for that. Just that first game is just hard to get used to it. Looks like he...
Oh, he caught that left ankle, I believe.
His left ankle underneath there.
The right ankle kind of came down on top of the left ankle.
Yep. Definitely an ankle.
Another tough break for Pat Fitzgerald's crew.
I have to look down the roster a little bit. Who's in next?
Well, J.R. Pace, according to what they told us, he wasn't on the depth chart, J.R. Pace, but they said if we need help in the secondary, we might have to put the freshman number 28 in there.
The other issue with that, Brandon, is it changes your play calling. You know, you want to protect those young corners or those new corners a little bit, so it makes you play a little bit more zone.
3rd down and 6. Ganji 0 for his last 4 on 3rd down. He's going to try to keep it, and he's taken down to the backfield by Joe Gaziano.
And that was a nice play by Joe Gaziano, staying at home off the quarterback run game. As Ganji wanted to take that ball around the right side. Look at Gaziano at the top of the screen. Went to the running back and then back to Ganji. Nice quick move. Nice open field tackle. Nice play by Gaziano.
And now a big kick coming up for Spencer Pettit from 33 yards just inside the right hash. Watch that play clock. Watch that play clock. They snapped it at 1. And it is good. Second field goal of the game for Spencer Pettit. Nevada back in front, 20-17.
That was a big series for Nevada. Just getting some points on the board.
The dandy continues. Packed by 3. Football on BTN is brought to you in part by State Farm. Here to help life go right. A little bit of a breeze today in the Windy City, as you might expect. It's a 3-point game.
Yeah, you saw that beautiful scene in downtown Chicago. Head coach Jerry Norvell brought his team, his Nevada team down there. Just enjoy the city.
Yeah, they came in Thursday. He said he took them to Giordano's Pizza, as that one is going to go through the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, many of those players have never seen Chicago.
So don't tell your nutritionist that you took him to Giordano's Pizza. Let's go back down to the sidelines and Michelle.
I have to say I'm a Geno Zeese fan, guys, but just an injury update for you. Marcus McShepard is out. He will not return to action. There is no update on Brian Bullock. And just to bring you guys down on the sideline with me here, on the offensive side of the ball here on the sideline, it was absolute silence. Not a lot of great body language happening, not a lot of conversations, and not a lot of communication. So we'll see how they respond here. But on the defensive side of the ball, Kyle Caro, extremely verbal on the sideline, getting the entire defense fired up and ready to go, guys.
The defense has been better this half, no doubt. Now they need the offense to turn things up. That won't help.
Drop pass, another miscue. But that was, you know, speaking of defense, they did a nice job after that turnover holding Nevada to 3. So they're fired up. Offense needs to get some rhythm now. Drop pass there. Doesn't help. Now you're second long.
Still a long way to go, but what's looming large right now is that missed 21-yard field goal from Charlie Kubander in the first half. That time across the 30 to the 31 for Garrett Dickerson. So they went to him on first down. They go again to him on second.
It's good that they're going back to Garrett Dickerson. They need to get the ball back to him. They had him early in the game. He's a big target. Little crossing route there. Get back to Garrett Dickerson. Throw it again to him.
Coaches raved about Dickerson. Pat Fitzgerald said it's time for him to become a household name in this league. He's ready for that. Boy, a lot of space here. Out of the backfield goes Jackson across the 50. Flag comes in as Jackson is tripped up right around the 40, but Nevada pointing that this is going to be against Northwestern.
Perfect play call by Mick McCall, the offensive coordinator. Caught Nevada on a blitz, and Justin Jackson was wide open in the flat with nobody on him. But the penalty may hurt, bring Northwestern back. Should be after the play.
During the run, block in the back, offense, number 19. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Third down.
Wipe out the run. Riley Lease with the infraction.
Nevada was on a blitz. Nobody was in coverage on Justin Jackson. That's why he was so wide open. Good play call. Cuts it back. Here he is in the flat. Because of block in the back. Where's Knight right there? Easy call there.
It's still 1st and 10 for Northwestern. The ball at the 40-yard line, as you were alluding to.
It's after the play.
Credit the 19-yard gain. They fake the sweep to Roberts and then give it to Jackson for 2 up the gut.
Trying to do some misdirection to get some of those runs up the middle that have not been good all day long for Northwestern. They have some work to do with their line of scrimmage work with this offensive line with up the middle runs or those inside zones. Their bread and butter, Brandon, is on the outside with the run game. Let's see if they get out there.
Dickerson was able to escape and pick up the yardage needed.
Give it to the big man. Give it to the super back. Garrett Dickerson, big target. He's a senior. There he is, just a little slant route, or we used to call that a spot route. Nice hands on the high throw. Breaks the tackle. Gets his pass down and protects that football. That's good football right there. I like this young man. Again, they need to get the ball to him a lot more.
Corey Rush is down. Second half, we have seen a slew of players on both sides on the turf, unfortunately.
First game, you get those cramps too, and you need to keep hydrated, and just never know going into a first game what's going to happen. This kid's going off of his own power.
270-pound junior Corey Rush. Jay Norvell going up against Pat Fitzgerald. Nevada parting ways with Brian Polian after 4 years, bringing in Jay Norvell. And people said, well, there's not a lot of expectations this year. We've struggled the last few seasons in Reno, but no, he's had this program looking sharp so far.
And he's changed his recruiting to the West Coast more. Northern California, Nevada, of course. He switched all that up, and I think that's going to do really well for him.
New set it down. Thorson stepping up. And completes it. That's Skoranek. Another first down.
Heady play by Clayton Thorson. Nice coverage down the field by Nevada's secondary, which is a good, deep veteran secondary. He stepped around in the pocket, kept his eyes down the field. Nice play by Clayton Thorson.
Starting to see some of that confidence that Pat Fitzgerald said he has this year, more so than last. Off the play fake, wide open. Skoranek. He had his own area code. His own zip code. Down to the 5-yard line goes Ben Skoranek. Gain of 26.
And that was a busted coverage by Nevada. They left Skoranek wide open. Just a little wheel route to the outside, and the corner for Nevada wasn't there. Good job by Clayton Thorson finding him. Busted coverage by Nevada. Made him pay.
Northwestern's last and only lead was at 7-0. Jackson cutting inside. Short though. Down to the 2.
Trying to get that outside zone again. Outside the tackle. That's where Justin Jackson gets most of his yardage on the outside and does his best work outside the hashes. That's what they're trying to get him down here in the red zone. And again, they've had the touchdown pass in the red zone today, but they've struggled. They need to make some hay out of this drive.
Let's see if they go back to Jackson. They do, but this is not going to work. And the ball came out at the end. They're going to say he was down. So he was down. That's the call. Even though Nevada is pointing that it's their football. But the ruling on the field, he was down. They say officially forward progress was stopped. What do you think, Chuck?
Well, the forward progress was stopped.
Yeah, that's what they announced. Over the PA system, the officials said, hey, forward progress, that's what we're saying, was stopped.
There is just a little power play. I'm surprised they wanted to stop it because he likes to spin out all the time.
Play resumes. Throw toward the end zone. It's caught but shy of the goal line by Macon Wilson at the 1.
Tough call right now.
Oh, boy. What do you do here, Chuck?
Well, they're going for it.
Down by 3.
I would have kicked it just to tie it.
A tight formation.
That's a long one there.
And Pat Fitzgerald
he's going to talk about it.
Take a timeout. We'll see what they do on the other side of our timeout. Time to go in the huddle, brought to you by SoFi, the preferred financial partner of the Big Ten Conference. Chuck, take us in the huddle. What are they doing here?
Well, I would kick it, but obviously they're not going to kick it. I would run the option play. The option's been good. I don't think they can get it up the middle on this Nevada defense. They haven't done that all game. They're going to be stout in there. I'd run that option off the edge.
Thorson 6 for 7 on this drive if they throw it.
And that's a good play down there. Options are good plays down here on the goal line.
The play of the game so far, no doubt. He's going to try to punch it in himself. If Thorson crosses the chalk, Northwestern has the lead.
Or quarterback sneak. He's big enough for that. He's 220 pounds. Run the quarterback sneak. Man, that was over 1 yard. That was a nice play. Good push up front. And they haven't had much push up front. So that was a nice push by the offensive line. And Clayton Thorson just with his strength and power. Nice touchdown.
I was going to say,
nice drive.
Credit the boys of the trenches. Creating just enough wiggle room and power for Thorson to get in. Kubander adds the extra point. 24-20. So Thorson has thrown for over 300 yards, but this time he uses that upper and lower body strength to pile into the end zone. Nevada and company.
Well, Clayton Thorson was on the phone there. During that timeout, you have all these coaches spitting out all these ideas on a play call, and Clayton Thorson probably just said, hey, just let me sneak it in. Keep it simple.
And he did just that. Remember, for Nevada, their return man, Caleb Fossum, went out with an injury. So it's Voshawn Crumby and Justin Brent back deep to return the kickoff of Luke Otto. And it will be Crumby from the 5. Crumby with a seam. He was able to get it out just shy of the 40. A nice return, so there's a good start for the Wolfpack. Let's check in with Michelle.
Well, Brandon, you and Chuck mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Peyton Manning spent over an hour and a half with his quarterback core, particularly Clayton Thorson. I asked him, Clayton, what was the one burning question you had for Peyton? He said, how to handle adversity in the middle of a game, which is exactly what happened in this game against Nevada. And you saw the way that Clayton turned this game around. You can tell the mental edge that he has, and Coach Fitzgerald also said he walks around now with a quiet confidence, measuring himself up against the best quarterbacks in the league, guys.
Now that's a great point, Michelle, as a 4-yard gain. When we were in that meeting yesterday to further that, it's exactly what Pat Fitzgerald said. When he went to that Manning Passing Academy, he looked around and he said, you know what? I'm as good as these guys here that are the creme de la creme across the country, and he's playing with that confidence.
Absolutely. You're always going to have adversity. In every game, there's going to be adverse moments. Fighting through those and producing when you need to is the key to great quarterback.
Second down, the catch was made, but a nice tackle by Patty Fisher on Wyatt Dips. So now third down coming up for Nevada.
Now Northwestern's playing a little bit safer in the back end. They're playing a full zone. They don't want Dips, their big receiver, to have any one-on-one coverage. So they're not playing much man, although they're going a little bit of man here.
They're making some noise at Ryan Field. Inside give. He's going to be a yard short as Jackson Kincaid. Credit Tyler Lancaster with a stop.
Big call here.
We've had some big calls on both sides. Nevada does have all 3 timeouts, as we're inside of 4 minutes, but the offense is on the field for Matt Mummy. Up the middle, and he's stuffed. They went to Griffin Dunn at quarterback. the sophomore is taken in this game, listed third on the depth chart.
They tried to go a little wildcat formation with a big, strong quarterback. Jay Norvell was at Oklahoma. They called this the bulldozer, the belldozer. And they tried to run a little power with a big, strong quarterback, and nothing doing. Griffin Dawn.
Are you surprised, though, of all the times to bring him cold off the bench for the biggest play of the game?
I'm very surprised. I would have kept Ganji in, spread it out. Let him throw the ball. He's been very good today. They'll revisit that one.
So now Northwestern takes over. What a huge stop. Just 3:29 remaining. And that carry with a flag coming in at the end. If the carry stays, will put Justin Jackson over 100 yards for the game.
Penalty flags are the worst thing that could happen to your offense right now. You want to be able to eat up some clock and end this game. And now you might have to throw it.
Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's one of those leaders they told us about at right guard, Tommy Doles.
Yeah, he's the leader. He started all of last year. He had Brad North in the middle, their center, their two best leaders on the football team. And now we have a long way to go. It's still clock. You can still eat up some clock. I would run it here just to eat some more clock up, see what you have on second down.
8 penalties for the Cats in this game, totaling 90 yards. They're not in any rush to snap it, that's for sure.
Yeah, use your play clock.
Jackson to the 46.
And they may just have Nevada smart timeout.
We'll take a quick timeout with them and be right back to Evanston. Joe Beninati, Glenn Mason, Elise Miniker will have the call for you. But still a lot to be determined here in Evanston. Jackson crossed the 50 to the 45. He almost broke free.
He almost broke it, and he had nothing but pay dirt in front of him. He had a crease. He just couldn't burst through it.
Nevada takes that second timeout, so they have 1 remaining with 2:51 on the game clock. So Nevada now down to 1 timeout, a 3rd and 7 coming up for Northwestern. Keep it on the ground, make him use that last timeout. Now they're going to throw off play action. They're going to throw deep. Intended for Macon Wilson, and Macon Wilson hauled it in. First and goal, Cats.
And that was a great call and a gutsy call by Mick McCall, throwing it deep. And a great play by Macon Wilson over Elijah Moody. Nice throw by Clayton Thorson. That's how you throw the fade route. Get it up there high. I love the way Macon Wilson attacked the football.
Macon Wilson fired up with Cameron Green, his teammate, and so is Clayton Thorson.
Good, confident throw by Clayton Thorson. Get it up there high, let your playmakers make a play, and Macon Wilson did it. Over a good corner, Elijah Moody.
Macon Wilson, some guys call him making plays around here. That's a good way to earn that nickname.
Clayton Thorson sets his feet, looks at the spiral, nice tight spiral. And what Macon Wilson did at the end of that catch was phenomenal. He attacked the football. And that's what you teach your receivers to do.
Clayton Thorson up over 350 now.
They've been kind of quiet. A quiet 352 yards, but man, look at that percentage, yardage. He had the 1 pick, but solid day for Clayton Thorson. And you mentioned those adverse moments. He had some today. And he bounced through them, got through them. Peyton Manning visits paid off today.
Yeah, sure did. 237 of his yards passing have come in this half. Now they're trying to put the capper on this thing. If they can get it in the end zone, well, they're going to try to sneak it again with Thorson. That's how they scored last time.
It's been their best run up the middle.
Yeah, this gets them down to the 1-yard line.
It's had some good push. Do it again.
Thorson a little slow to get up, but he appears to be fine.
He's 6'4", 220.
So you say do it again?
Do it again. It's hard to do it again when you have Justin Jackson behind you.
Yeah, that's true, too. But that's a nice other option to have, the keeper.
Speaking of option, that's what I would run down here. Those are really good goal line plays.
And they've run that effectively a few times in this game with the Cats. They do keep it again, but he's going to be short.
You have to be careful now. You don't want your quarterback taking a lot of hits. You get hit down those sneaks.
Stay tuned after the game. State Farm post-game report. Dave Revson, Howard Griffith, and Jerry DiNardo standing by. Northwestern, who got off to the tough 1-3 start last year, lost to Western Michigan here, then Illinois State. Eventually would regroup, have a great second half, make it to the bowl, beat Pitt. But they want to get off to a better start here. It's been a tough test from Jay Norvell in Nevada, no doubt about that.
Yeah, hats off to Nevada. They came in ready to play. They were fresh, had their legs underneath them, and they played like it.
Pat Fitzgerald eats up every second he can of the play clock and then calls a timeout.
Yeah, excellent effort by Nevada. And whatever the outcome is, you have to be happy if you're Jay Norvell. Very first game as head coach. Saw a lot of good things. Pretty clean operation. Don't forget, what do you tell us? He had 42 new players from the day he got hired till fall training camp.
Yeah.
42. That's almost half your football team. And 3 new quarterbacks.
Yeah, you're bringing all new coaches, a new system, all those new players. That's one of the reasons Northwestern said this is one of the hardest preps we've ever had.
Sure.
They had to watch film from LaGrange, for Matt Mumme, from where Jeff Castile was in Arizona, all over the place.
They went all over the country watching film just to try to get an idea what Nevada would do.
So here we go. 3rd and goal. Thorson keeps again. Did the surge push him across? Yes.
Give me the ball, coach. I can do it.
Last drive, Thorson plunged in behind his line, and he does it again. We might get a review on that, but it's going to be hard to overturn if they do take a peek.
It'll be hard to overturn this one. But man, what a day Clayton Thorson's had. Very proud of him. From my high school, Wheaton North Falcon.
You're proud of him, but you're, as you said earlier, wondering if his name is going to take over the Chuck Long name.
He's going to take over the town. I'm worried about that. No, he's having his time, and he's going to have a special time from here on out. He'll play on Sundays as well.
No review. Clearly in was Thorson. Kick is up and good. And Thorson in the final 10 minutes of this game, 7 of 7 passing, 2 rushing touchdowns. Have a day, number 18. Cats up 31-20.
Second down for the 13. Looking for a receiver. The throw is caught for the touchdown. Touchdown with 21 seconds left to go.
Monday night, BTN continues the anniversary celebration with a look at the most exciting plays, highlights, and moments for the 2007-08 season. Don't miss BTN 10 Big Years, presented by Auto Owners Insurance, Monday at 7:30 Eastern, right here on BTN.
Time flies. 10 years already.
How about that? So many great memories. I remember watching that App State-Michigan game.
Yeah, I remember that. What a game that was.
It was kind of one of the big kickoffs. Unfortunately, some fans up north maybe not so happy about the result of that. But
excellent day for Clayton Thorson, though. Threw the ball well, ran the ball well, made great decisions.
Now Nevada needs nothing short of a miracle, as Crumby is going to be brought down shy of the 30.
Thorson showed some leadership today. Again, had the adverse moments, a couple of missed throws. They'll watch it on tape, and it was just mechanical. He made the right decisions. He just had some mechanical issues and didn't set his feet. But man, he has shown to me his leadership ability today and how he's grown in that department. He's certainly talented, has the big arm, can run, but for the quarterback, it's all the mental game upstairs and leadership.
Ganji incomplete. A lot of coverage there on Wyatt Dimps. You know, for Northwestern, they'll go to Duke next week and then Bowling Green. Then they get a bye before going to Camp Randall. So they start off Big Ten play with a bang, because those are the two teams people think might be up for the West title.
Right. I'm excited to do Northwestern in 2 weeks with Lisa Byington.
Oh, yeah.
Her debut as play-by-play. Really enjoyed working with you, Brandon.
But you're more excited to work with Lisa, right? I would be too. She's fantastic and excellent at her job, and awesome to see her get the play-by-play opportunity on the football side. She's done it on hoops and other sports, but great to see her. It's wonderful for her at BTN.
Partner, it's been great working with you as well. You're a rising star. I keep telling people that.
Oh, thanks.
You and Michelle are rising
stars.
You
and my mother think that. Thanks. 33 seconds is all that separates Northwestern from a 1-0 start. I've been impressed with Nevada, though. I think Jay Norvell really has this ship going in the right direction.
He certainly does. They have something to build on from this game.
Nevada 0 for their last 6 on 3rd down, and now 0 for their last 7.
And they found a quarterback in Nevada. You know, they had a battle.
Ganji beat out Cornwell.
Yep. Had a battle, and now they found a quarterback, and that's always a good sign when you find a quarterback moving forward.
Big talk at camp. Would it be Ganji? Would it be the junior transfer David Cornwell?
We knew who Northwestern's quarterback was going to be, but
there's Cornwell there in the green hat, number 12. Yeah, there was no question on the Northwestern side as the 4th down throw is incomplete. Now Northwestern can take one knee. Pat Fitzgerald can take off the headset and start to celebrate a Week 1 victory. Coming up, State Farm postgame show. Dave Revson, Howard Griffith, and Jerry DiNardo will be with you shortly. Well, the halftime speech obviously worked because it was 17-7 Nevada at intermission.
Well, their defense stiffened up. They didn't give up any big plays, or as many in the second half as they did in the first half. That was a sore spot for them a year ago. He's giving up those big plays, and then Clayton Thornton just kept playing through the adversity and willed his team to win.
And the reward is to go down to the knee and get to 1-0.
And that's a big step for Coach Fitzgerald. He didn't have that 1-0 this time last year. Now he has it this year. You need to defend your home turf if you want to be a championship team.
And all the buzz, is this the year that Northwestern will unseat Wisconsin in the West? Well, it's a good start to non-conference play. Although a shaky beginning, they do outlast Nevada 31-20.
Oh, it's always a little shaky at the beginning, as you know. And there's been a few of those across the country this weekend. But they battled back through the adversity. Northwestern has a lot to build on. They're going to watch that film as well. I thought defensively they came out better in the second half. The secondary in particular, which is a veteran group for Northwestern, were a lot more sound in that second half. Sometimes that's coaching, though. You try to do too many things. You just go in at halftime and say, hey, we got to get back to basics. And that's what they did.
Well, I'm sure they're thrilled, as we were saying earlier, just to be through with Nevada because of all the film they had to watch. They weren't sure what they were going to do. And now they can say, oh, that one's over.
And that's a good point, Brandon, because that's what happened. All that film, hard preparation.
Michelle is with Coach Fitzgerald.
Thanks, Brandon. Coach, take us back to the 4th quarter. Down by 3, 4th and 1. You go for it. Why?
To win. You know, it's we were in this position a year ago, and we created ways to lose. And we again turn the ball over in an inopportune time. But I really love the way our guys responded today. We're going to learn a time. I mean, how many penalties do we have? Miscues. So went into a game blind. We got 31 points on the board, and a team that, we knew was going to be able to be pretty explosive, that we were able to hold a 20. We'll take the win and move on.
And amidst the penalties, your quarterback changed the game as well. What did you like about Clayton Thorson today?
Well, yeah, I thought he was resilient. It didn't go perfect, and he just kept on battling and battling. We got a lot of guys, their first experiences today, and they're going to learn so much from this tape, and now it's on us. A lot of teams make their best growth from game 1 to game 2, and we're going to need it if we want to become the team we're capable of.
Before looking at the tape, what did you learn about your team today?
Well, that we were resilient. I mean, we went in at halftime down 2 scores, and we come out and we win by 2 scores. A ton of credit to Nevada and those young men, and Jay. He's a Big Ten guy. I know Chuck had a little bit of love affair today with him, and he should. But, you got to be really proud of those young men from Nevada. They came in here ready to fight like we knew they would. Proud of our guys how to be resilient and get the win.
Coach, thanks so much. There you go, Chuck. Got your shout out.
He called you out, Chuck.
He did call me out. But hey, that's Coach Fitzgerald, and that's a credit to his coaching. Down 2 scores and a half and win by 2 scores. That's coming from the head coach to get your team to bounce back.
And Clayton Thorson, 2 rushing touchdowns in the final 5.5 minutes. Threw for over 350 yards. And Northwestern is a winner. For Chuck Long and Michelle McMahon, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Let's toss it now back to our guys in the studio for the State Farm postgame show.